Okay, and before we start, I got a big announcement. October 30th in New York City, I'm going to do a pop-up show, okay? One night, one show at the Comedy Cellar, and it's going to be the Free Alex show. So all the money that we make from the show, all the proceeds are going to go to Alex and his family because, it costs money when you got someone in jail, man. You got to fly out there and see him, these types of things. So we're going to give Alex all that money if you can. So you can go to comedycellar.com, and then you just got to go and make a reservation. I think that that's how you get the tickets. You have to make the reservation. So the website can be a little tricky to kind of navigate, but go check that out. I also put a link up on my Instagram, but make sure you go do that. It's a smaller room. I think it maybe seats like 150 people or something like that, but it's actually the original Comedy Cellar room. I'm really excited about this because they don't do a lot of one-off shows there. So this is the first Comedy Cellar room, and I'm stoked to do the show there, and we're going to make some money for Alex. Also, I'm going to be in Chicago, let's say the 11th and 12th of October, Milwaukee the 13th, and I think Madison the 14th. Then I'm going to be at the Las Vegas Comedy Cellar, the October 17th through the 21st. So make sure you check that out if you're in Vegas. Then in November, we got some shows in Oxnard, California. I'm going to be in Tempe, Arizona. I got a bunch more shows as well at theandrewschultz.com. We just added Miami and San Diego in the new year, so make sure you come check that out. And I think maybe we'll round out the tour in LA. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Y'all let me know what you think, but I think maybe we could do that because we started out there, so maybe we'll finish it out there. But, thank you guys so much for coming out to all the shows, man. It's been amazing. Go check out the website, theandrewschultz.com. That's got all my dates. I got a bunch more dates on there, so I'm probably coming to your city. Go check it out. And if you don't see my your city on there, then hit me up, man, and we can try to work something out. All right? Let's start the show. What do you do when you're underwater, like trying to survive? You have like a straw and you go like that. And the straw is the best thing you can get in your nose.
You're absolutely right.
There's probably seaweed stuck in most turtles' nose, and that turtle had a nice straw to funnel out, out some shit.
I wonder if a turtle ever accidentally got a douche stuck in its nose and then it like unplugged some sort of sinus issue that it may have had.
A douche?
Yeah.
Like
a
for girls.
Vagina vacuum, yeah. But accidentally wedged into a nose.
I always thought that was like a liquid, like a Drano that they put on.
Well, I think it's I didn't know it was an apparatus.
Smear it on there.
It's like a tool.
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen that? What is that Sausage Party? That's the Seth Rogen movie where they don't they personalize like all the hot dogs,
it
buns.
Looks like a plunger almost.
And Nick Kroll plays a douchebag or a douche.
Cartoon. It's like a cartoon. Yeah. I don't know. I think
it's a thing that you like you insert into your vagina, and then it's a bag that you just fucking squeeze, and it flushes all the schmegma and stuff out back into that bag. I'm making up
like a plunger.
Let me just ask. So technically, a douchebag is a great thing.
Well, no, it's supposed to actually.
It knocks off the pH balance.
Yeah,
but it cleans pussy.
But apparently, it's not good for it at all. Apparently, it's like causing
the pussy is a
of...
self-cleaning device, and when introducing foreign washers, it tends to throw it off all wonk.
It's the same reason you don't wash a golden retriever. You know what I mean? Because it's got the natural oils in the coat. If you shampoo a golden retriever, it fucks it all up.
It's true. Golden retrievers, right after they shower, they actually run outside and then rub themselves on the grass because it hides their scent.
Guys, this show has been brought to you by the suburbs. Golden retriever. I didn't grow up with a washer dryer. What the fuck do you mean golden retriever?
But that's why you see girls rubbing their pussy on grass all the time.
Yeah, right.
They want to clean it.
Yeah, right after douching.
The natural oils.
Yep.
So wait, so if you fuck a girl with a stinky pussy, it's because she's been fucking
not self-cleaning.
She's been not self-cleaning. No, I've heard this before. I've heard girls talk about this pH.
Half her pussy's on strike, so only half the workers are mopping up after themselves.
Because the balance isn't there. Okay. Yeah. This is fascinating. Okay, wow. I use the same soap for my face as I do for my dick.
Yeah.
Of course.
And sometimes my hair. But girls need their own. You're saying they need their own soap for their pussy.
I would assume so. I mean, I live with 2 women.
This is what I'm talking about, why they're bad for the environment. I had a whole theory about this.
Oh, you're right. I don't even know what your theory is.
No, but you see, like this, like the environment is this like girly ass cause, right? There's like a couple dudes that care about the environment. Like Leonardo DiCaprio cares about the environment, but that's only because like it's the only cause you can care about without polarizing your audience.
Right.
Like, he don't really give a fuck.
No, he flies whores in on a G5.
Exactly.
Like, he does not give a shit.
On a yacht. Onto a yacht. They land on the yacht.
But think about it, like, if you care about anything else, if like you care, if you're like liberal, all of a sudden half of your audience is like, well, fuck that, I'm not going to see, Revenant 2 or whatever movies coming out. You know what I mean? So, but if you care about the environment, it's neutral. Everybody's like, okay, we should care about trees.
And attractive for women.
For women.
For sure.
Now, women love this environment. They're all about recycling. Like, no dude has ever been like, you should recycle. It's always girls about recycling. Mm-hmm. Every girl's house I go to, there's 75 bottles around the bathtub. There's spray cans everywhere. The tampons every single month. The pads every single. They are environmental disasters.
Well, a lot of them are getting blood buckets now, though. Do you know about that? The Diva Cup?
That's wild. Diva
I've
Cup.
heard about this Diva Cup.
Diva Cup. If you thought the douche was a lot, buckle in, pal.
Okay, wait. First of all, I got to introduce who's on the podcast.
Wait, are we starting?
We've already started the podcast. This is Flagrant 2, No Easy Buckets analysis by assholes, water cooler commentary for your sports needs. I'm Andrew Schulz. Akaash Singh, out of town. He's on the American-born Desi tour. Make sure you go check that out. You can get the dates on his Twitter. I don't know exactly where they're at, but they're out there. Okay. And then Real Life Kaz, he's in Seattle doing some world wrestling shit. So I got my guys, Mike and Mike.
Yeah.
Mike and Mike in the afternoon, we'll call you. not Mike and Mike in the morning. Yeah. It's Mike and Mike in the afternoon. Mike Cann and Mike Feeny, two comics I find hilarious. You guys have a great podcast called the Irish Goodbye Podcast on the Gas Digital Network I've been on. Very fun episode. People can access that no matter what, or they have to pay a subscription to access.
Yeah, it's on iTunes. Yeah.
So anybody can access it, and then to get back episodes and that kind of stuff, you subscribe to.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, listen, if you fuck with me, go listen to our episode. I thought we had a very fun episode.
It was great.
I distinctly remember even afterwards saying, guys, we got to create something. This was such a good environment. We've been trying to get together for, I think, months. I have a little idea that I think will be really good for the three of us. We can never get together. This almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, the world is conspiring against us. This should have happened 3 hours ago.
I know.
Yeah.
Then
no, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to drink my hot Coke.
Cannon had a spot, okay? So we had to push it back. I came here with no camera.
There's no Coca-Cola taste.
What is that?
It's like bitter soda.
A hot Coke?
I've never tasted anything like this in my entire life. It tastes like Earl Grey tea
Can I have
fizzy.
a sip?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, can I finish bragging about your guys' stuff?
Yeah,
okay,
please.
So hold on. That isn't Coke. I don't know what that. Did you shake it? I think the Coke's. I think the Coke's on the bottom. I think that's just soda. I think this has been here a while. Though.
Yeah,
I think you should check that date.
What's the expiration?
Oh, December 26th, 2015. This is
no kidding.
This is a 3-year-old Coca-Cola, bro.
No, 3-year-old expired.
Oh,
that shit is probably good.
No, is it 15? I just saw other numbers.
16.
But it is old.
Yeah, it's 2 years old.
Yeah, it's 2 years old. We're gonna die. So we just had the half-life of aspartame is at least a year, right? So we're just drinking radioactive sludge out of that fucking thing. It's over. And you know what's funny? He just moved it away. He put it back on the table. He was looking at it.
And I guarantee I would have taken a second sip.
It's
not even a doubt in my mind I would have finished that.
The only reason he gave it away is because Eden looked at him with a shame and judgment, and then he reluctantly handed it to Eden.
He's like, but just don't put it too far away.
I just burned. I have 20 fucking quarters in my pocket because of the goddamn purchase. I have to make something out of it.
Listen, the best night of my life.
You have to go to the gauntlet to get to the greatness. You know what I mean? Like this is. Remember the aggro crag?
Oh yeah, of course.
What was the aggro crag?
What was it?
Global Guts.
Global Guts, bro. If you want to get the trophy, what did you even get?
I don't know.
You won the piece of the aggro crack. The fucking
Ooh.
It was green. It would fucking light up. It was like smoking. Yeah, dude.
But what did you win at the end?
Do you do that?
No. We don't do that over here, bro. Free Alex. Free my man Alex. Our normal guy who does the audio and video for us is in jail in Sweden right now. I don't know if I've told you guys.
No, I
about
saw
this.
in your story something vague.
But since we've started the podcast, I was supposed to do a pre-roll about 15 minutes ago on this. But what is that right there? Oh, yeah, I got to do that. So I'm getting a note from Eden. He just gave me a note after I said I was going to do it. Thank you, Eden.
Hopefully it's not for Diet Coke.
Wait, stop what you're doing because I got to let you know about it.
Appreciate you. But let me tell you guys something, okay? You ever wish that you needed to never buy batteries, coils, a tank, and a bottle just to start vaping? A-Bay, the new vape system from the creators of Zamplebox, not Samplebox, Zamplebox, changes all that. A-Bay's hardware blends simplicity with top-shelf quality. A-Bay features a super compact battery, high-capacity pods that are more than twice the capacity of Juul pods, and that feature ceramic coils so you won't ever get a burnt hit. A-Bay features a perfectly curated lineup of 5 delicious flavors, so you're sure to find one that's perfect for you. For a limited time, get a free A-Bay kit at $10 off each pack of pods on your first order when you sign up for monthly auto ship delivery with 3 or more packs of pods. Plus, all A-Bay auto ship orders get free shipping. Just use the code FLAGRANT. You know what it is. FLAGRANT at checkout when you visit abay.com. Shouts to A-Bay. If y'all are vaping, definitely do that A-Bay and use that code Flagrant. We are here with Mike and Mike. Now we've officially started the podcast.
That was a missed opportunity by that company to just be like, A-Bay. I mean, that is
had to do
all I could think of the entire time.
When you pull up in the club.
A-Bay.
We went from golden retrievers to, what is that, Project Pat or something like that?
Who was that? Hurricane Chris? Whatever. There's like 3 of those rappers that were the exact same guy to me. In
Tsunami
Projects,
Tom
that guy is the same one as A-Bay.
Is the same one as another guy. Anyway, okay. We're here. I'm so glad that we actually finally were able to come together and do this.
Man.
It's been a long time coming. Right before we started, I had a theory. You guys asked me, and I was telling you about the project that I want to put out. I think it was you asked me, what if I'm going to put out on YouTube?
Yeah.
And this hit me a few days ago. It's still kind of like swirling around in my mind. But I think Netflix won't make it.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy, but just here's
But
why.
didn't you already make it though, or are you in the process of making it?
Netflix, the brand, the model.
Okay.
I don't think it will make it.
Oh.
Okay, so this is way in the future we're looking, but I think this is what's going to happen, and I'll tell you why it happened. Well, first we'll start here. Do you remember that movie where Tom Hanks plays a senator who's like real swagged out and like started the war in Afghanistan?
No.
I forget the name of it. Maybe you can look it up. Thank you, Eden. Well, basically, what was happening is, this was, I think, in like the 80s when Afghanistan and like Russia were going back and forth at it, and Russia wanted to kind of control Afghanistan, and we were like, nah, we don't want to do that. What's the name? Charlie Wilson's War.
Yeah.
Saw it.
Okay, so what happened is Russia was flying these helicopters in, right? Helicopters, I don't know, $50 million for a fucking helicopter. I don't know how much a helicopter goes for. And we were supplying the Afghanis with like rocket launchers for like $5,000. You could shoot off your shoulder. So they were shooting down these $50 million helicopters with $5,000 rocket launchers. And eventually Russia was like, yo, we can't afford this war. It's too expensive, right? It's costing us $50 million to fight you, and it's costing you $5,000.
Right.
That's Netflix and YouTube. Netflix is paying $100 million to distract us. At the end of the day, entertainment is distraction. They're paying $100 million for David Fincher or the other guy who writes the other shit. What's his name? The writer guy. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The cokehead, the
Is he a
ex-cokehead.
cokehead?
Well, and he did
wrote
the political show,
Yeah.
Social
It's-
Network,
Exactly.
Sorkin.
Fast dialogue
Aaron
guy. Yeah,
Sorkin.
Sorkin. Yeah.
Fast dialogue
You know,
guy.
there's a quick
That is exactly
Walk
right.
with me.
Dude has never had 2 guys standing.
Never.
That was like a game of taboo. We just kept saying one word close to each other. Cokehead.
So they're paying $100 million to create these shows. To get, let's say, 1 million people watch it, right? 2 million people. Let's say 5 million people watch it. YouTube is paying Casey Neistat, who gets 5 million views on all of his vlogs, $0.
Right, ad companies are.
Nobody's paying.
But wait,
they're buying ads on it, but the ad comes. So YouTube has a platform that creates the same distraction. Matter of fact, a more useful distraction, because this distraction available to us during the day. I'm at a stoplight. Let me look at my phone. Let me watch some vlog or someone. I love these surfing vlogs. I watch these surfing vlogs all the time, right? Or some people watch, sports clips, or some people watch these things, right? It's just distraction at the end of the day. The YouTube pays $0. We upload. We get the cut of the ad revenue, but it doesn't cost YouTube anything because these ad people are coming and accessing YouTube's content. So they're paying $0 for the same amount of views. Netflix paying $100 million. Now here's the thing: Netflix can't downscale. Netflix can't create videos of a golden retriever humping a grandma.
Right.
Right? They're not going to create that. Their brand is elite. YouTube can easily hire Sorkin. They can easily hire Fincher. They can easily hire Will Smith to make a movie.
Right.
They can spend any amount of money they want. So they can grow. I think within 20 years, what will happen to the business is this. Netflix consumes HBO, Showtime, Stars, all these other channels. HBO, Stars, Showtime, all these things become studios. They don't have a platform, but they continue to make their shows within their brand. So they'll make the Game of Thrones, these types of things, because they understand content. They just don't need a space for it. So they'll make it for Netflix. They'll make it for maybe YouTube, right? Netflix is paying all this money for content, but all of a sudden, you and me are creating content that's really similar on YouTube because the technology is getting so good. You said before we started this podcast, we can shoot 4K on our fucking phone. We can shoot movie cinema quality on the phone. Right? Now your sitcom that you wrote and we all produce for real quick, not even that much money, is on YouTube getting the same views as Netflix.
That's cool you just offered that, man. Appreciate that.
We got this. Right? But, so it's like, and they're paying no money for it. And they're accessing views all over the world.
But what are they doing with people like Aaron Paul, where they partner with these people and they put them on the preferred page and all the preferred search and stuff like that? Like, is there some sort of
YouTube Red?
Are they doing some sort of profit sharing?
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's profit sharing. And again, I don't know too much about the model, but Red is essentially their version of a Netflix, et cetera.
Right.
I think eventually all of us will be on Red. Are you on YouTube Red?
No.
It's basically like a subscription service. Right? You pay like $10 a month, and you have no ads on any YouTube videos.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of sick.
And you can also like minimize the window, right? And
right.
watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it, which is good for like music too. If you're like listening to music videos, then you can do other shit. So it's like little stuff that they offer. But I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, YouTube is the Pac-Man. You can consume anything eventually, and you have the unlimited bank because you're with Google. They don't got to make money.
And they also just got rid of the ability to make money if you only have less than like 1,000 subscribers or put out a certain low amount of hours of video. So now they're just basically being like you have to work until you get to 1,000 subscribers to even consider getting paid if we like accept your terms after that. So people are going to have to be putting out a ton of free content way before they ever get paid.
Incentivizes the content.
What's also interesting though, and it could drive it in several different directions, is that they're starting to censor things a little bit. Like they're being, they're more wary of what they're putting out. I mean, my buddy sells ads for YouTube. He has to go out and talk to companies, and he was a part of the entire regime that had to go out there and explain why they put like Gerber ads on an ISIS beheading video. And so he's just taking verbal beatings every day of his life, listen, sad, drinking at the airport.
Google has all the data. People with kids like watching beheadings.
I agree.
That's all that means.
You got to,
It's just pure data.
It's
don't
analytics.
get angry. Exactly. Don't get angry.
It's free
at
market.
Google. Get angry at Gerber's buyers, the people who buy your product.
Don't grade my
That's some
morality
sick fucks.
or my baby's morality. Just allow us to consume what we want to buy.
That's what I would say if I'm Google, right? It's like, guys, it's not up to us.
All right.
There's some sick fucks out there with little kids that are feeding them fucking blueberry Gerber food while you're watching some ISIS person chop a head
The
off.
algorithm.
Right? It's like impersonal.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do. It's
It's math.
It's fucking math.
It's
dude.
numbers. Numbers don't lie.
We like some fucked up shit. That's my favorite thing about YouTube, right? Is it's not some exec that goes, I know what comedy is, or I know what drama is, or I know what a star is. Do you know what I mean? Like Lorne Michaels sits in a room and just looks at people and goes, that's a star.
Right.
All right. You know what I mean? But there's people on YouTube that are blowing up, right?
Yeah.
Because not one person thought they were, the world.
Right.
The free market, the literal free market.
Right.
I really dislike a lot of the programming on YouTube, though. Like I mean, I have my own things that I like to consume, and especially like comedy and sports. I watch a lot of fighting stuff, and
What do
then
you watch
like
on YouTube?
Basketball highlights. I watch a ton of McGregor fights and like breakdowns of like sparring and stuff like that. So I'll learn combinations.
What about
and
black
just, like,
chicks watching Bill Burr jokes?
No, I've never seen
Just
that.
me?
That's
I'm the only one that
hysterical.
watches that.
That's so funny.
Dude, there's like a series of like 45-year-old black women. They're just cackling at Bill Burr jokes. It's so fucking funny.
That's hysterical. I mean, I happen upon some bizarre shit all the time,
yeah.
but it doesn't even like register when I think about what I'm watching.
Right.
But what was the point of what I was saying?
You were saying that you have your things that
profound.
you watch, right?
Yeah.
Specifically watch. on
Right,
YouTube.
but I think a lot of the stuff that even YouTube is pushing as an entity, so say as a Red or whatever, these Logan Paul idiots with the quick cuts and the
Right.
big bright colors and the
Yeah.
no, like it's
Vlog.
all like
Yep.
these vlog people that are ripping off Patrice
Right.
or they're like ripping off some other comic and they're just parroting this bullshit and they're acting as though that they've created something.
Right.
And it's like that. So that's the nasty, dark element of it.
Sure.
That's what sucks. Is that stuff?
But the free market gets them.
I know, but that's the thing
That
is
guy got
mediocrity
killed.
is elevated because the majority of people are mediocre.
Yes.
So it's the same as like Instagram.
But we want that.
Yeah.
We want low standards. This is what I say. Like
That's
no,
actually a great point.
Think about it, right? It benefits all of us. If the standards are making the next fucking Avengers movie, how are we going to compete with that? I don't have $200 million.
Right.
Right? If the standards is just distract me a little, right? All
Yeah.
these a little distraction. We can. I love it when Instagram comedians try to do stand up. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it when I see they're on the same show. When I'm going to like do one of these like feature
live is-
spots.
yeah.
Oh,
for
live
sure.
is a different
Gotham
animal,
or
though,
like
yeah.
even in
they're
or
like
Laugh
selling
Factory.
out. They're like selling out Levity Live. You know?
Exactly.
It's like,
but they'll be doing a 15-minute spot on like Comedy Juice.
right.
And it's the most fun thing in the world to follow that, or even go before. Before we're a little malicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you like wait for the next guy's set. You just wait to watch him bomb. You're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Even if you have a spot right after, you're like, I
Dude,
just got to
I'll be
give
late.
this a few minutes.
I'll be
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
worth
going to
it.
push the
Yeah.
time a little bit. I just want to see what a human
I'm
looks
gonna
like
remove your
drowning
blue check.
in no water.
That's all I'm saying. It's like it was like you want people to appreciate and one. Remember and one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basketball, like you want them to appreciate that because
Somebody just got named as the new CEO of N1.
it's still
It's
around.
Yeah, they're rebranding their entire thing.
I
They're
used to
going
wear
right back
so
into
much N1.
Of
every,
course.
Yeah.
How many
everything.
shirts?
Oh, unlimited.
I'll
the
take
faceless
something.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, that it
What
is.
what is something I'll take you to school?
Oh, yeah.
There's all these
It was
little.
always something
Dude, that was
like,
memes before memes.
yeah, that was the original meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. T-shirt.
And when fucking started memes.
Yep.
You should be getting a cut.
The baggy ass shorts.
Well, and then Jordan took them. So Jordan took the model. N1 was the first ever of like the big baggy shorts that Iverson was wearing, Stephon Marbury, everybody was wearing. And then Jordan came in, got big shorts, did better quality fabric and all that stuff. It was a little bit more expensive, but it had the fucking MJ logo on it.
Yeah.
People immediately started buying that shit. Then Nike and all these companies jumped onto big shorts, and now it's completely opposite. Now they're pushing the trend in the opposite way, and now they're small shorts.
Oh, hell
you see James Harden working out and all these guys working out in LA and at UCLA, and they're all wearing shorts that are barely covering their
Barely.
bags.
That's what we're doing, dude. For our basketball league, our intramural league that I do with like the Westerbros guys, this season short shorts.
Yeah.
Me and Marco already signed up.
I like it. I like
All
it
of
as an
it.
excuse to show off my gams.
Show it off.
Yeah.
Show it off. Okay, so the and one. This is actually interesting because the and one. Remember the faceless guy, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember a lot of NBA guys had that tattooed on their body?
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine O'Neal had it. There's a few others that I
Had
can't
the
remember.
faceless
They
guy?
had
Yes.
the and one guy tattooed
What?
on them, right? And I always would assume I was like, and one got to be paying them to do this, right? Like, there's no way these basketball players are that dumb that they would tattoo someone's logo for
Yeah,
free
nobody
on
would
their
get
fucking arm.
Supreme on their calf.
That's what I'm saying. That's what fucking made me think of it today.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Right?
Yeah.
So JR does it, right? They had to have paid him. There's no way he's doing it.
I mean, maybe.
Come on.
Dude, I've made this joke before, but Supreme right now, and I like their clothes, but they are the Abercrombie and Fitch of 2018.
What do you mean?
Because
That's what
every
all
rich
high
parent
school-
buys it for their fucking dweeb kid that wants to be cool, but he
Right.
sucks deep down, so he has this fucking veneer of coolness to him.
Yeah.
And as soon as anybody digs past their name, they're gonna just figure out that he's a fucking dweeb. But like, that's what it is. It's this cool mask that people wear around, and it's gonna go out just as much as Abercrombie.
But haven't they sustained for a while? Like Supreme has been.
But it's like it feels like it's hot now more than I feel like it used
Yeah.
to be like kind of that like cultish
was
kind of
underground.
like yes.
Yeah. It was only like cool kids and Chinese.
It was streetwear. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was New York streetwear or some Asian kid in
I
parachute
swear,
pants.
streetwear and like the real estate market in New York are both sustained by the Chinese.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like they just come in, buy it, but then they never you never see them using it. Like when I was buying a place here, I would always get outbid by a fucking Chinese. They would just pay all cash. And whenever I walk by the Supreme store in Lafayette here, 90% of the line is Chinese, or they're buying it on the secondary market. Build the wall.
They already have one.
Close the tunnel.
Yeah.
They already have. Maybe they didn't build the wall. Maybe it was the Mongolians. We're like, we gotta keep these Chinese out. The real estate's going up.
They are too fashion forward.
Yeah.
They're buying all our triangle hats. What the fuck is going on? Keep them away.
Let's pick the biggest wall in existence and see if that works.
Dude, maybe the Chinese never built their fucking wall.
Yeah.
Maybe it was everyone around them.
And then they were like, fuck, we just needed to go east. Like, it was like we kept trying to go west. We kept hitting the wall. Let's just go east.
Let's
and then
go
they
east.
came to America.
They fucking did it. These fucking Chinese.
I'm going to choose to believe that.
Oh, my God. I think it's the truth, Eden.
It's not worth researching. I think I'll just start saying it at parties now.
Yeah. Okay, here's another Chinese theory. We have great Asian theories every week on this podcast.
Okay.
Last week it was who was the first person you would eat if you had to eat a human.
Yeah.
And it was definitely going to be Asian calf.
But what kind? What kind of
An Asian calf?
I feel
because they're like so like creamy.
Dude, wait, creamy?
Korean.
They're
No, that's a Korean calf
Dude,
if I've
that's
ever heard
great.
one. It's Chinese are too oily. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I feel it in my bones. Koreans have like this delightful fluffy white meat that I feel like would just be like almost too like veal, like tender.
Yeah.
You know the great thing, part of this conversation, like the different Asian groups are agreeing as we mention it, right? Like as you said that about the Chinese, all the Koreans are like, no, it's true, they're greasy. They're greasy people. The Japanese are just sitting on their high horse, like all of them below. Yes, I wouldn't eat any of it.
I feel like Japanese would be too tough.
Oh,
Like,
Japanese are
like
obviously
gamey.
No, Japanese are obviously eating raw. You know what I mean? It's like sushimi.
You don't even cook them.
Calf
Bite
tempura.
right in. They're not even dead yet.
I mean, I'm not going to disrespect the culture, dude.
Yeah.
You disrespect the culture if you put rice on it.
But I will put crunch on top.
Just
little flakes, the Tobacco flakes. You got the low sodium soy, guys.
Yeah. Green cap, not red.
Okay. I don't know why we were talking about it, why I brought that up.
Supreme. Oh, and tattoos of the faceless man from N1. I
So,
am the highest
you're
one
fucking
here.
good.
And I
Okay.
trailed it back.
So that's what I'm saying. I think Supreme paid him a fat check because they were trying to get other people to wear them. Kelly Oubre Jr. wore it. Remember, he wore the leg sleeve, and another guy wore another leg sleeve, and the league fined him. They're like, you can't wear it during the game. So what is a way to get around it?
But I also don't understand so they have to have sanctioned brands in the NBA for them to wear. They have to get pre-approved, the brand.
course.
Yeah. Just like the
I get
headphones with the football
that
players.
is
Absolutely.
that is pretty
Or basketball
greasy
players,
though.
too.
That leaves it open to immediate corruption. So it's instantly the league is getting all this payout from these giant fucking sports authorities, Nike, Adidas, Puma, all this shit. So somebody like Supreme, who might be a smaller business that is maybe trying to break into that, say with sleeves or other type of thing, they can't afford the like a head capital to
No,
fucking.
you can't. It's its own. It's
That's
the party.
bullshit. That sucks.
Yeah, but that's like saying, like, why can't fucking Tony's meatball shop sponsor the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Right?
But
It's
if
like
they-
because they can't.
If Tom Brady wants to
how it
wear that
works.
sticker, if Tom Brady
Welcome to
wants to wear that
capitalism.
sticker on his
You really
helmet,
do
I
like
think-
these Chinese,
Yeah,
huh?
I
You
do.
fucking communist cannon.
And I will drown my daughter. I swear to God.
He doesn't even know that's a ritual there.
They don't let them get old enough.
Isn't that true? Didn't they do that for a while?
They were
Wasn't that a
American
thing?
daughters for a minute. Yeah.
Just because they
Dude,
should.
the respect for authority.
It's wild.
Imagine one day the president was just like, all right, no more daughters. And then, like, within a day, everybody in the country was like, I guess no more daughters. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro, like in America.
I mean, I love you, but what am I gonna...
Dude, all these women's marches we'd have to deal with about that. We want our daughters. Fuck out of here with that shit. But China, it was one day, no backlash.
Yeah. Imagine the people that were currently pregnant once that rule was enacted. And it's like you got 9 months of preparation where you're like, I'm going to have this baby. And then you find out it's got a clam and you got to kill it.
You just turn into a fucking heavy bag. You put your head, just...
Just Bane punches right to the gut.
Wait a minute, can you just say your kid's trans? They probably don't even believe in that.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's for sure can't be allowed yet.
No.
They're just
Dude,
letting
that's a
women
nice way
into
around-
it.
That's right. True. But didn't they?
But they do have the Asian culture is kind of known for the ladyboy culture.
not all of it.
No,
I think
like
the
the
Thai
Thailand,
one.
yeah.
Specifically Thai. Right?
Jack talks
Let's just
Thai
let
very
him.
well.
Let's just let him say it's all of it.
You know how Thailand's in the middle of Japan?
Yeah, welcome to Flagrant 2. Okay,
Dude,
So
but-
Supreme paying at least $1 million to JR.
Let
It's
me-
worth the PR.
It would be if they are, and I think that, but also, and maybe he did accept some sort of a deal, but also my best friend from growing up has the logo of Zoo York tattooed on his
that stinks.
tricep.
Did he?
Stinks.
He got paid
What?
not a damn thing because
Yeah.
he just liked New York, and New York had that 3-year run where it like
Where
right after
Ashton
Abercrombie.
Kutcher was their fucking billboard guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
They had like a 2 to 3 year run
Yeah.
after Abercrombie and Hollister and all those kind of went down. That he was
Yeah.
just like, "This is what I
Did
wear."
you go with him to get it?
I absolutely did not. He showed it to me after he got it.
I would have loved
Right?
to be there where he was choosing between that and 555 Soul. I don't know, bro. One of these guys is gonna make it big.
So this is Supreme's. This is actually Supreme's opportunity to potentially become a Nike, because what did Nike do to get on the map in terms of the NBA? Michael Jordan
Make
wore
Asians make their things.
That's true. They
Okay.
very small fingers. But so Michael Jordan wore that sneaker. They said
Oh,
you're
it
not
was against the
allowed.
rules.
They said we're going to fine you every single game. So Nike
Nike
was
said,
like,
"We'll pay."
perfect. This is the best publicity we could possibly get. Banned commercial. Paid every single game's fine for them. So if Supreme really wants to get funky and get into the game, now you pay his fine every single fucking game, and you start blaring commercials during NBA games, and you become the next fucking conglomerate. I'll be your CEO.
Damn, bro. What if you just say that that's your religion?
Supreme?
Yeah.
Supreme being.
No, like, what if that's it? Like, because you can have a cross tattoo. You can have, like, a,
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't Kawhi have that, like, 2-thumb shit?
What's that? Oh, the psychedelic thing?
Is it psychedelic?
I don't
it's
know.
like
Third eye.
the third eye. It's like
Yeah.
a hand, and there's, like, 2 thumbs on it.
Yeah.
That's probably religious. You know?
Yeah.
Guys, do you guys
It probably
know anything?
is.
I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting right now,
Are you?
guys.
Because I've been blatantly lying for some time.
I always thought it was a
Just
total
hoping
psychedelic
somebody
thing.
would come in with something at some point.
I've had to pee for an hour and a half.
By the way,
Can I get my Coke? I'm just,
no.
I'm kidding.
Kawhi, did you guys hear this? He just admitted that the Earth is not flat, and I'm happy that I
Kyrie.
had whatever. Kyrie. It's too many. Look,
We're still in
listen.
Asian time.
The way you say
Kyrie.
Kyrie in Asian
That is
accent
wild.
is
I
Kawhi.
apologize.
Okay, that's how you say it. All right, have some respect for where his name came from. Okay, he's from Australia.
Yeah.
Right.
It's closer there. Kyrie just admitted that the Earth wasn't flat, and I'm
Yep.
glad I have you here because you had. Do you still do that podcast?
No.
Okay, so you had a podcast with like a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
guy.
he didn't. I mean, he
He
ran
was
the
like-
gamut. He didn't believe anything. So he didn't think planes hit the Twin Towers on 9/11. He thought
Okay.
it was a direct energy weapon with holograms.
Okay.
He didn't think Sandy Hook happened. He thought the Boston Marathon was a fake. Pretty much any major event where a lot of people died, he thought was a well-orchestrated hoax by the government. And he also he believed in flat Earth, and that's why the podcast ended.
What's the argument? What's the argument for it?
Ice walls.
The argument for it is based on people with a deep wound that don't want to become outwardly religious, so they believe in a contrarian opinion because it has now formed a group of people that they find a community in.
Right.
But the whole belief behind flat Earth is that we're the center of the universe. So they seem to think and believe that we're not taught to be special, that we're not taught to believe that we're the center of the universe, even though pretty much all that is preached at us constantly is how righteous and important we are as animals.
Right, but what is like the science behind it? What is it? Like,
There's no science behind it. It's
science.
just no. It's the
someone has
science.
to ask them.
No, so
every
this is
scientist disproves it.
No, I know that, but
this
they
is
must
so
have
this
an
is-
argument
yeah,
for
no,
it.
what it is they continue. It's a war of attrition. So they ask you math problems until you run out of ability. So it's actually really difficult to prove the curvature of the Earth. It's like a 45-page proof. My brother-in-law is a mathematician
Right.
who is getting his doctorate at Cornell, and he gave me like 4 pages and was like, "This is like a tenth of it or whatever." So it's really difficult. So all they do is ask you until you run out, and they're like, You don't know what you're talking. See,
Yeah, they shoot
everything
facts.
you've taught. Yeah, space.
They just shoot a bunch of
Space isn't
diarrhea.
real. The planets might be sentient beings, but we seem to think they might be lights. Like it's dog shit. It's all dog shit.
So they can't prove anything, but the burden of proof is not on them.
No, it's on the people that believe the Earth is round.
Yeah, and they say that it's there's ice walls right at each end.
2 mile high ice walls. They said nobody has ever
like Game of
traversed the
Thrones.
poles. Yeah, exactly. They said nobody has ever traversed the poles. That's not true. And then once you bring up contradictory information, they just tell you you're wrong and that you're indoctrinated by liberal education or whatever it may be.
Right.
Moon
So
landing.
it's truly it's like arguing with a born again or just a radical maniac that you have.
Oh, they don't believe in the moon landing?
No, of course not. There's certain weird things about that too, where I'm open to having a conversation about that.
Stanley Kubrick directed it as
Yeah.
one of the things. One of his.
I
that
argued
was
with-
one of his huge last projects that he kind of what made him.
There was
go
a lot
even
of-
more
yeah, there was a
mentally
lot
How do you
of,
keep that a secret?
lot of
You
hints.
can't keep anything a
Well, he
secret.
died.
Yeah,
No,
but also, but all
he
the
has
crew,
to have a fucking
there's
exactly.
crew.
There's a guy who's
Right.
doing craft service.
Well, you kill him
There's
like
a
the
guy who
mob.
made peanut butter and jelly
kill him
sandwiches
like
for
the
the
mob.
fucking moon for the moon landing movie.
Uh-huh.
If they faked it, where
was-
does he go?
You're assuming it was Union. It was not
Point,
Union.
it might not have been Union. It might-
I
yeah,
argued
yeah,
Neil deGrasse Tyson about this on fucking Nightly Show, and I called him a moron.
Really?
It was
Why?
good.
What happened?
Because he was just proving me wrong on everything about the moon landing, and I was supposed to play the crazy conspiracy theorist, so I was just like, calling him a needle dick idiot, and I've disproven everything he's saying on YouTube.
Okay, so you still believe that it's real though, or it's not real?
I think we've been there. I think we're definitely we're capable of faking some footage to sway popular opinion or to at least get people on board with like some nationalistic bullshit. I mean, and not, for 9/11, like all that stuff. Do I think it was orchestrated? No. Do I think we probably had advanced information that we didn't act upon? Yes. Do I think we took advantage of a catastrophe and then used it to get into some pretty unjust wars that we're still currently in? Yes. So that's the level of conspiracy that I believe in. Do I think there were 19 pages redacted from the official report that implicated Saudi Arabia and yet we're still funding Saudi Arabia? Yes. There's
There's a lot of information going on.
yeah, there's a lot of shit. But do I think it was a fucking direct
But just
energy
the
weapon?
moon-
No.
No, the moon landing. Let's say we got there.
Yeah.
It's a bad day. I don't think it's that crazy to go, let's just shoot it back on Earth. We were here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Let's just do
Like
it.
they did it, but they're just gonna be
Like
like,
you ever
let's-
filming something? It's raining outside.
too dark.
You're like,
Right.
what do we do? Let's just do it another day. But you don't have that, right? You only have a certain amount of oxygen and food, right, to get back. What are the chances you get to the moon and it's a beautiful day? Right? It could be a horrible day
I
all the
left my
time.
camera.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you need perfect situation.
Like
you don't
you
even know
can't
if the
just
sun's
go back
there.
to your apartment.
That's it. There's so many things could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Like
they
literally,
filmed it, got back, or like left the lens cap.
the lens
on.
caps
Right.
on the whole fucking time.
Jesus.
Think about the gloves.
Egg on my face.
Think
you
about
guys.
the gloves, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not like there's a little red light that says record,
Yeah.
right? I
This
mean,
is the 60s.
This is the six. Think about how big cameras were in the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s, the
Yeah.
cameras were on your shoulder.
Hurt my shoulder.
You were 2.
I used to always film them in even the early 90s. I always filmed them all like the
How old are
family-
you?
30.
Okay.
All
so you
family,
were-
all
you
family
were-
events. I used to have the big fucking VHS shoulder cam and
Boom.
stuff like that. I'm recording for like an hour or two, and then after that, I'm just like, what is my shoulder? I feel like a day laborer. You
See,
know what I
that's
mean?
the thing. So imagine these poor guys. Well, there's no gravity, so that's not an issue. But the
Right.
size. We're talking about size.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they got there. Or close. Maybe they. They did. Listen, I went to what's that place called?
How would we ever know?
No, I'm gonna say. Fuck. What is it?
I went to what's that place?
No. Listen, no. This is where Michael Brown got killed by the cop
Oh, fuck. Where is that?
in this outside of St. Louis.
Yeah.
Ferguson. So
Ferguson,
I went
yeah.
to Ferguson, right? And I went, but I wasn't like we kind of drove by. You know what I mean? We didn't
Sure.
hang out.
You didn't see
know what I'm
you
saying?
didn't
Like-
see the sights.
No, like,
you
we
didn't
hang
go
out.
to buy
I
a
went
Dutch
into the
from that deli.
No, I went into the deli. I got an Aquafina, right? Paid for it. I know they don't play. And then we saw, and then we went, but it's not like we did a whole thing.
Sure.
Right.
So I'm saying maybe they could have done that on the moon.
Yeah. Well, and
go
also, I mean, you
in
see
there
that shot
out.
of that gets the shuttle taking off back to Earth, and it's like, who's filming that?
Wait, there's a shot that shows the
There's a
shuttle
shot
leaving?
that shows the shuttle leaving. Yeah, so
Stanley.
it's just like
That's why Stanley got
well,
killed.
and there's a couple of frames where
Wait,
and listen,
this-
I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist. I love
Yes,
talking
you
about
are.
this shit.
Yes,
he really
At
is.
his
He
fucking
really
core,
is.
he
I've
is.
done enough mushrooms
Because I
to
asked
make
him
me
about the
question
moon,
everything.
and immediately he went to 9/11.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I asked him specifically about the moon,
just going to the
and
hot
within
ones.
10 seconds, he was like, "But Saudi Arabia redacted 19 pages from the fucking article. There's not even a film crew that could show the flight leaving."
And the Boston Marathon wasn't faked, but did
No.
they use it as an opportunity to enter people's homes without a warrant and create put an entire city under fucking martial law? They goddamn right ran that drill.
Well, I think.
Welcome to the Flagrant 2 podcast,
Yeah.
guys. We're here to talk about sports and other things.
Hunting is a sport.
Feeny, tell me. You said you think.
I do think that they went there, but in terms of if they were going to fake it, the thing they seem to have an answer for everything. Where they had like when we planted the flag, it's like the flag is all ripply, and they were like, but there's no oxygen and there's no air, there's no wind in space, so why would it be a thing? But then they were showed like they just have a thing that they just threaded like a piece of like iron through it to make it look like it was waving, so otherwise it just wouldn't be down forever.
Yeah. Well, and Neil deGrasse Tyson said that there would have been momentum. So even if the person went like this, it would have still moved because of the momentum going.
Yeah, obviously.
through,
That's what
not
I assumed it was.
gravity.
I didn't think it was a breezy day on the moon. I just figured that you plant the flag and then you go like this. Listen, if you want a picture, you want the flag out.
Yeah.
Of course.
So one guy was like,
Can't
hold
have
it
a
out,
limp flag.
run over here or bounce over here.
Well, it's like you remember that show Survivor Man, where he would go out into the
Yes.
woods with just like the GoPros and the
Yeah.
cameras by himself.
I
But
like.
then,
I was a Bear Grylls guy myself.
So dumb.
Yeah,
Bear
yeah.
Grylls way better. We don't care you did it by yourself.
well,
The whole show was contingent on this idea. He was doing it by himself. Just get a fucking guy.
But
I
here's
want to
the
see it
thing,
look
but
awesome.
Yeah, what is he got a
Fuck your
shaky camera
bullshit.
angle? You're 15
Yeah.
fucking miles away.
You bought a flip cam? They're out of business, you piece of
The
shit.
guy's got fucking tennis rackets on his shoes, walking through the snow.
But that's-
walks 30 feet, and then I know he has to stop and walk 30 feet back and pick
that's
up his
my point.
stupid
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
camera.
They
What an
always
idiot.
showed him walking
Yeah.
away, or he's like dragging fucking the carcass of a goddamn caribou and walking across.
That's what they did on the moon. They went up for a little
Yeah.
to get the adios shot,
Yeah.
and then they just landed it back.
yeah, they're like, dude, we're here. We can take our time.
Boom! Give me a little thrust.
Yeah.
All I need is that's all I want to go to
Yeah.
space for. Is like, let me get a little thrust on the or
Yeah.
whatever. Thrust? Is that how you get around
yeah.
in space?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not it's thrust.
But it's just
That was
a.
more exciting for me than anybody else.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, we didn't question it. But there's something about that with like but Bear Grylls, his problem was everything he did was just completely faked. That's why his show.
It
got
wasn't
off the air.
fake. It wasn't.
TV,
First of all,
be fake.
It wasn't faked. Bullshit. It was situational.
Oh, now you
Sure.
believe in things.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I believe
Guy
in
over
things
here,
that are
bro. This guy over
totally
here, Bear
that
Grylls.
just
You believe
appease
in
me.
Bear Grylls.
The man admitted that they like were like, oh, all of a sudden we'll like
Listen.
happen upon a
Listen, is
deer.
my
Stop
belief
it.
system completely based on convenience? Sure.
Yeah, it
But
is.
still-
Let me tell you something. Everything that fucking nature Colin Kane did in that show was completely,
Oh my God!
completely
I want
real.
to flip this table. That was the most accurate thing I've
Nobody,
ever.
nobody knows
Nature
Colin
Colin Kane.
Nobody,
Oh my!
is that a conspiracy? Sorry.
Yeah, because Colin Kane's
the
people-
ghost of-
Multiple
ghost of
Colin
CK.
Kanes that I see. Do you ever? He's in one of these commercials. Oh my God, he looked. I don't know if it's not the ShamWow guy, but there's another guy that kind of looks him in one of these infomercials. It's on the phone somewhere, but I'll get it. But yeah, shouts to Colin Kane. What's he up to?
I don't know.
Were you around for
handsome.
Colin?
I remember him at the Lantern.
At the Lantern,
yeah, I remember
right?
the
Yeah,
Lantern.
yeah,
but
yeah.
he was, he like still sells, doesn't he?
I know he was killing it for a minute,
Yeah.
and then he went out to L.A., and then I didn't really hear much from him.
He did that movie with Steve Hofstetter, I believe, that comedian
They
movie.
did a movie. Oh.
I
He
think
must
so.
be doing well, if that's the case, because everybody that does stuff with Steve seems to be murdering it.
Gold.
I heard Steve was the one who actually produced the moon landing video. Did you know that?
Yeah, he did it for people did it for free. But they got a ton of exposure when they did it.
Is that the knock on him? I should have knocked the guy. I don't know what's the knock. We're getting really inside baseball.
Yeah, this is super.
Talking about baseball, you guys actually give a fuck about it, or
He
maybe
doesn't.
Feeny more
I
so.
do.
Yeah.
he
I
more
give a
so.
So why? Because a lot of people listen to this podcast are overseas,
Okay.
right? Where there's no baseball.
Yeah.
Lucky them. You actually like baseball.
Love baseball. Favorite sport.
Okay. What?
Baseball 1,
Yeah,
football
yeah.
2.
Your favorite
Basketball.
sport is baseball.
My favorite, favorite baseball.
Favorite baseball.
Favorite. I was gonna differentiate.
Favorite to
between
watch on TV
to
and
play
live?
versus
No.
live.
Just your favorite
live,
sport.
absolutely, unequivally the best.
It's not even in the ballpark,
best.
pun intended.
Because it's a fun. 'Cause it's conversational. You know what I mean? Football is the worst sport
Let's go
on the
back to
planet
this.
to watch live.
I agree
don't
with you on
disagree.
that.
Yeah,
I agree with
I
you on that. But
agree.
let's go back. Let's go back and say baseball is fun because it's conversational. Baseball is fun because of what you're doing when you're so bored.
That's
No, I'm
that's
also
exactly
saying-
yeah.
I understand-
What you literally
Baseball's
just
great
said.
because you don't have to watch
Watch
I
baseball.
understand. I understand people
People
that
go to
say they
baseball-
don't
All right,
they
go.
don't understand it, but they don't like it. I understand if
Yeah.
like you. I didn't like soccer until a few years ago, and now I'm starting to get it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But with baseball, to me, I enjoy both sides of it. I also played baseball growing up, so I enjoy being able to see a guy being able to throw 95 to a guy who's getting paid $30 million a year and to try and it's a whole job. It's just to fucking hit this thing, to club it, and then he can make him miss and then throw another pitch after throwing 99 miles an hour to throw a 67 mile an hour fucking curveball that goes like that and fucking lands perfectly in the strike zone. And I also love the fact that some guy can fucking hit that 500 feet in the opposite direction off it's like the hardest fucking thing. I know golf is probably harder, but to me, it's the hardest sport too to be good at. And also, I like it because it's this only sport that every single body type can excel at. You can be fucking fat, skinny,
Yeah,
short,
that's why it's
tall,
not the hardest
young,
sport to do,
old.
though.
It's
That's
the
why
fucking,
it's not.
impressive. Bartolo
If
Colon
Chris
is,
Moneymaker can play can go from poker to baseball,
Jordan couldn't.
No, he could, though.
Jordan couldn't.
he
Jordan
could have. He
could.
played for 6 months.
He
Played for
was
6 months. He was
terrible.
batting 278 in that spring league.
But he was
and
terrible.
he hit a few out.
And he hit a few dingers. No, he was good. His swing
Yeah, dude,
started getting there.
it was like,
I watched the 30 for 30.
No,
They
you-
convinced
no,
me.
Yeah, no, you watch Space Jam when he's like, "Pit high and inside, don't swing." That's what you guys. That's
Wait,
what,
was that part of
that was,
Space Jam?
That was the
Yeah,
first
that was
scene of
part-
Space Jam.
I didn't
Really?
like how passionately he acted that out.
He
It
went
was
for it,
accurate.
though. He really did.
Yeah,
I was.
great to have been met with fucking anything. It's fucking impressive to me that, and also, like I said, it's
That's how boring baseball is. I forgot it was in Space Jam.
I also couldn't relate
It's
to
the go to the
watching-
bathroom part.
Has the movie started yet? No.
Yeah.
They're still playing baseball.
Yeah.
That's how much better
They're
LeBron
not
is.
cartoons
They're
yet.
gonna have a scene in the new one where LeBron just plays tight end for 3 weeks.
I agree with you. Football sucks live. And
The
I
worst
agree with
sport
you.
live.
Baseball potentially is fun live, depending on certain elements. It has to be a gorgeous day. You have to be with
Or night.
or night. You have to be with friends, and you have to be intoxicated.
And it has
You don't
to
have
be
to
a
be intoxicating,
playoff
but
game.
drinking is
because
amazing.
who gives a shit?
It's basically the park. It's like, you know how
Yeah, but I've been to
sometimes-
Yankee Stadium during a good game in the regular season, and sometimes if it just doesn't have that much weight to it,
Nah, you
it's
need
like
the juice.
No, they all suck. I'm not saying they all
Nah,
don't
dude,
suck. I'm just saying.
a playoff game. I went to last year's Yankees wildcard game, which is just a one and done. Like
Yeah.
winner goes home. So
Yeah.
they play for fucking 6 months, 162 games. They get
Yeah.
to this one game playoff, and then the whole fucking stadium was rocking. The Yankees pitcher gives up 3 runs in the first inning. Doesn't even get out of the first inning. Gets taken out. We were supposed to fucking mop the floor with this team. The whole stadium goes fucking like a church. Then the next inning, leadoff hitter walks. The next guy gets a single. Then Didi Gregorius hits a 3-run home run. Immediately ties the game in the bottom of the first. And the infrastructure of the place, even though it's a new stadium, felt as though it was collapsing. Like the whole fucking place is rocking. You know.
Right.
And football, I've gone to a couple games live, and I'm a big Giants fan. But I just first off, I can't ever afford seats to be anywhere where they don't look like ants. And also, it's 2 feet. You know, you can't.
Football sucks live.
Football
Yeah.
sucks,
But
live.
that's only because of how incredible it is on TV.
It's the best TV
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
Every second of that TV show, let's call it, that is football,
Yeah.
is distraction. The guy runs 2 yards. Now you're going to see another angle of him running 2
Yeah.
yards. You're going to see a third
They
angle.
keep you
of him-
distracted until when you're
constantly
there, you don't
boom,
realize
boom.
how long in between plays is.
It
I
is
will
so
say,
fucking
It's like the
And
guy
also-
code of sports.
Every second we got a new
TV,
thing
baby.
coming at you. Real talk, it is ADD TV. And to its credit, I can watch a football game with 2 teams that I could give a fuck about.
Yeah.
It's the only sport that is it's not highly regional. Like baseball, like you said, that's the one thing about baseball. It's hyper local. I'm not gonna watch a fucking A's and Blue Jays
because it's
game.
boring.
Yeah, but if it's your team, then you're rooting for them too. It's a different thing.
Yeah, you have like some. It's like like it's your religion or whatever. You're like grandfathered into it. But I'm just saying, football is a great watching experience, especially on TV. They've perfected it. That's great. It's better than basketball.
For sure.
Basketball.
The only thing better than football.
Basketball's almost. It's almost there.
Basketball's great. The problem with basketball is
it doesn't matter until the fourth quarter.
There's an argument for that. There's an argument for that for sure.
On TV.
And,
that's if you don't
NBA
like basketball
TV has
that
this
much.
thing that they do now where you can just get fourth quarters. So you can subscribe to all games that happen throughout the year, but just the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And
See,
now you're
now
just
that-
bouncing from fourth quarter to fourth quarter. Amazing. Perfect.
That's great.
But
That's great.
And there is something nice about basketball, the fact that it's a constant movement, the sport.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, we're going, and you have a nice little rhythm, especially if there's two teams that are going back and forth. It's exciting. to
I
watch.
can watch two teams that I don't give a shit about play basketball.
As long as they're players that I care about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
But that's a star-driven
there's-
league.
but yeah,
Basketball's
there's
a star-driven league. That's the difference. You
Sure,
know?
but baseball is what?
The same.
Baseball's a team thing. If you can watch, you can. But that's the other thing
But the
about
teams
baseball.
that sell real tickets have.
Here's the thing about baseball. It's way less predictable
Nobody
than football
goes.
or basketball.
Nobody goes.
You cannot.
You've never seen the stands.
You cannot.
I can tell you
possibly
the
say
seat
that.
color of every single stadium in the league because I see seats. That's all I see is seats.
Derek Jeter
You ever
really
see-
overestimated the reverence people have for him in Florida.
Oh, they don't give a
They
fuck
don't.
down there.
Florida,
No.
yeah, of course they're gonna hate
Yeah,
him.
but that's where he owns a team.
But yeah, I know. But everybody hates that team. It's not just him. Everybody just
And
fucking
that's
hates.
where all the people who like baseball live.
But
so
what I'm
that
saying
should
is about
show you
baseball,
something.
it's more interesting to watch to me because it is a less predictable sport than basketball. It's like LeBron versus blank. If it's not somebody as good or equal to LeBron, LeBron's team's going to win. If I'm watching baseball, I could have the guy who's going to win a fucking Cy Young Award versus the guy who's going to get the home run record and then have a 42-year-old fat pitcher come in and strike him out. Like, it's so unpredictable. Like, that's
Yeah.
the thing about baseball is that it's like anybody
It's
can win on
so
any day.
Slow.
yeah.
I mean, people say soccer's slow too, but it's not if the
Well,
way
soccer
you
is
watch it.
perpetual motion.
You need
Baseball,
to-
there's
you need to know how to
stops
watch
No,
soccer.
there's a lot of stops in soccer. There's a
You
lot.
don't even know how to watch soccer.
I will say the most interesting sport to watch on TV I've ever seen, and it's one of my least favorite sports. Playoff hockey is
Hockey is the best live sport there is.
and
Hockey's
also,
a
but
good
also
watch.
Followed by baseball
on
or basketball.
on fucking TV though too. Live hockey, man. I'm a super fair weather Rangers fan, and then when they made that playoff run a few years ago, I watched every game, and I didn't even know half the team, and I'm like screaming, just like whatever your fucking Russian name is, let's fucking go. Like it just
Yeah.
your heart is like thumping.
Yeah.
It's just like steroid. That's ADD soccer is what hockey is.
Yeah, I could see
'Cause
that.
you can hit
They're
the fuck out
similar.
of each other.
Yeah, they're similar. And I understand soccer to a certain extent. It's you have to like appreciate the almost goals.
It wasn't until I started.
Yeah.
I went
It's
to
all
a,
about
yeah.
almost soccer. It's about appreciating what could have happened. That's it's like reminiscing with like high school buddies.
yeah.
That's what soccer is. Remember when you almost got your dick sucked in that bathroom
Yeah.
by Patricia and fucking
It broke in.
11th grade,
Yeah,
blah blah blah. Right, like that's soccer. It's like no.
yeah. Dude, when I went to a game in Paris last year, and their fans though, it's such an intoxicating thing because they are literally singing from the second the game starts
Yeah.
until the game ends.
But they're indoctrinated from when they're kids, right? Like
Oh yeah, dude, they know the chants, they know the fucking.
no, but
like,
besides that, like the people that come up through their system, it starts really early, and they're like these. We had the soccer hooligans here, and they were describing kind of how like the club system works and why we don't have the same investment in our sports. Like you can be part of the Barcelona team at 12 years old.
Yeah.
So we're watching you, not we, but people in Barcelona are watching these kids since they're 12. They grew up in the fucking neighborhood,
Yeah.
end up going into the senior team, end up playing for the actual team. So now you have a personal investment.
that's baseball too. Baseball, they draft them out of high
They
school.
draft a Cuban off of a boat.
at 17, and then he toils away in the fucking
Nobody
minors,
fucking
and they
knows
fucking
him.
talk about him for 6 years.
I can't name 7 baseball players.
That's crazy. But that's on you.
7
You host
baseball
a
players.
sports podcast.
And we blatantly do not talk about baseball. We refuse. But Didi Gregorius, because you just said it.
Okay.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yep. Also on the Yankees. Yeah, mostly Yankees so far.
Judge. Aaron
Yep,
Judge.
That's another Yankee. Yeah. Think of like a.
No. I got the guy Trout.
Yep.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout
Mike
on the
Trout.
Angels, center fielder, best player in the sport.
Isn't that sad that he's the best player in the sport and nobody knows a fuck
Well, it's
about him?
intentional
Well, no,
though.
that's-
He doesn't do any big big like
He
promotional
does
things.
subway
He's very-
things, but he's a very quiet guy, and also he
just
plays
wants to
on
play
a
baseball,
So
man.
figure it the fuck out.
He plays on a
MLB?
bad team.
Who cares?
Well, the
Tim
MLB
Duncan was
this is
nobody.
how-
They made him
this
a
is how
fucking
shitty.
superstar.
This is how
Get a
shitty of a
funny-
league this is.
That's
though.
what I'm saying. The league is shitty. What you do is you get a funny, personality-driven teammate to make him look interesting or fun. You need
Yeah.
it for the sport.
So not only
Who?
is it
Bryce
shitty,
Harper. That's another one.
But
Let me
also-
try to get
the
through
Bryce
five.
Harper-
Harper is
commissioner-
the anti-hero.
Let
the
me try to
commissioner
get
went
five.
after Mike Trout for not being
what?
a big show. He's
But he
like,
said we
yeah,
can
well,
only
maybe if
make
he
him-
tried more.
No, he said we can only make him as famous as we can only use him as the face of sports.
That's five.
Yeah, you already got 5.
Okay.
You haven't named one pitcher
Albert
yet?
Pujols.
Yep,
Is he still playing?
Still playing on the Angels with
On the
Mike
Angels.
Trout.
I knew that. 6. He's the Carlos Boozer of the
He's
the
been
major
around
leagues for
for a
me.
fucking-
I just say that because of his hairline.
Same body type.
And just when I look at their skull, I'm like, oh, you're the same guy.
Does he also shellac shoe polish
Absolutely,
on top too? Yeah.
definitely. Okay, I need one more for 7.
Yeah,
and
you
I
haven't
haven't
named
even named
one
pitcher.
pitcher.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got some pitchers for you.
Oh, I know
Okay.
one.
You got it?
I mean, of course.
Okay. What about? Oh, he's dead. I was gonna say Jose Fernandez.
Yeah,
He is
he's literally one of the only young star pitchers that's dead. Right? Like you
Also,
said,
his 2-year
Well, I
anniversary
met him. I
was
did
like
a
2
thing
days
with
ago.
him. He was actually pretty funny on it.
he was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was
Hopefully
a good guy.
you were not
I
on
asked him
land.
how he got to America, and they was like, well, I was on the boat, and they like stopped me, and they were like, where are you guys going? They're like, oh, we're trying to go to America, and they're like, what's your name? He's like, Jose. He goes, what can we help you with, or something like that. And he goes, hey man, I'm a lefty with location. And they were like, all right, hop on the boat. Nah, he was a righty, but it
Yeah, I
doesn't
was gonna
matter.
say, yeah.
But lefty with location is a higher commodity.
Yeah,
That's
true.
funny that he was on the boat and then they stopped him because, like, you fast forward, and he was on the boat and then the Rock stopped him.
Oh,
Flagrant 2! Flagrant 2! Okay. Because he died by the Rock guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he got rock bottom.
how wildly high on Miami cocaine was he? He must have
They were
been
doing
just
80 miles
zooming.
an hour.
That they thought they could jump the Rock.
You're like, I'm gonna use this as a ramp.
You can do it,
He
bro.
probably was
You
like,
can do it, bro.
I'm gonna just land home.
Yeah, dude. Haven't you seen Face Off?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need one more.
I still need a pitcher.
Yeah,
a
or
living
just
pitcher.
any other
I know
hitter.
one from the Mets.
There's so
Oh,
many. Yeah.
Thor.
Yep.
But Syndergaard.
Yep.
Nolan
Yeah.
Syndergaard.
That's 7.
DeGrom.
That's
Yep.
8. You already did it.
Hold on.
Told you, bro.
I might be able to go double digits on baseball. Wait for it.
You definitely can.
I can do like back in the days baseball.
No,
Yeah,
you
me
can-
too.
Like
really
before
well.
I learned about real
90s.
sports. Greg Maddux.
Yeah.
You know what I
he's just
mean?
Yeah.
Ty Cobb.
I mean, that is. He jumped back 100 years.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
What up, baby? Let's go.
Well, Babe Ruth's great. And you see the guy Ohtani that they have on the Angels, who's now the guy who they're pairing with Mike Trout to be this other superstar. Comes
That's
over.
a brilliant idea. Pair him with a guy who doesn't speak English.
No, man, that guy. Because you don't understand the biggest outside of like America and the Cuba, like Dominican Republic.
Wait,
stuff like that.
Otani, is he oily or tuft?
No, he's
Japanese.
Japanese, dude.
Refined,
Japanese.
Bro.
Yeah.
Refined.
Yeah.
Refined.
Pinky
bro.
up, tea sipper?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy
Actually, I
is,
think they sip with both hands.
he's the first player, and he's also like he's super young. I think he's like 23 or something. He's the
Yeah, but he's
fir-
injured, dude.
Yeah, but he's
Tommy John.
He's the first person since Babe Ruth to both pitch and hit, and he was doing both tremendously.
Can we acknowledge how pathetic baseball players are? That they can't even
So
throw.
specialized.
thing-
yeah,
They can't even
stinks.
throw. Like this motion is
Well,
too
also
hard.
this is like the worst motion you could ever do for your your
Oh,
arm
yeah?
is not supposed. That's why
Tell that
softball-
to the Palestinians.
Go on.
But also, I
Go
actually
on with 2 more
the
sentences.
rock throwing. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
There's
do you know
a
how many
rock throw-
Tommy John surgeries there are? It's Tommy Jabachanan.
Okay, go. Everybody's getting it today, huh? We got the Middle East, we got Asia, we got flat earthers. Who else wants it?
white
Neil
guys
deGrasse
taking
Tyson?
down people in power.
Bro, we're fighting a good fight.
Yeah, I don't punch
Okay?
down.
We
I punch
punch-
brown.
Yo, I swear to God, there's like a few. There's really like a few podcasts. I find this. I think the Gas Digital audience is good too. I don't think that you guys get like offended.
Yeah.
No, they're great they're great comedy
There's,
fans.
but there's like a few that exist,
Mhm.
and I always say it about our specific, like the Flagrant 2 one, and I know it because I'll do the live shows.
And you cannot offend these motherfuckers, bro.
Oh, well,
It
good.
is
because
incredible. No,
I was
no.
not looking forward to the tweets.
No, bro. No.
All I was doing was running through the Rolodex.
Yeah,
what
of being like-
possibly could come.
Yeah.
No. This is what we come here for, man. We don't do that PC shit, bro. We don't play
That's
around.
what I can't wait to say when somebody's like, "What the hell? What did you mean by this?" Yeah, I can't defend it.
We're a comedian. Don't defend it. You're a comedian. That's why we're here.
I
We're
can't
talking
defend it.
shit.
That's that's the thing I've been doing now is just we're telling people, anyone that trolls you, just be like, yeah, you might be right. And then they're like, what? That's just what I've been saying. Just, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe I'm right, but you could be. And they're just like, why aren't you angry, though? Like, it's just fucking...
Feeny, you are married.
Dude, I was writing back...
Took him 10 years to realize you might be right works.
Dude, now I'm commenting with... I was commenting to a guy with Billy Joel lyrics. I wrote, you may be right, I may be crazy, but it just may be a lunatic you're going for. You're looking for. And he wrote back, he was like, you see, it's good to be able to have a dialogue. Like,
Most people can't have an adult conversation, but you clearly articulate yourself.
yeah.
I had you're both married.
Yeah.
I should ask you guys about this situation because I've been single for a long time, and I had a girl that I was talking to a little bit. She was away for a while. I forgot exactly what she did. Maybe she said she was going to try to get me something, and then she couldn't end up getting for me. But she was like, "Yeah, I was trying to get you this thing at the market, but then I couldn't end up bringing it back. But I was thinking about you or whatever like that." And I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." And then she goes, "You know what? I was going to surprise you in Portland, but I tried to switch the tickets and everything like that, but it just didn't work out." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she goes, "That's the second time I told you I tried to do something for you and you didn't give me any reaction, so I'll never do that again." And I'm like, you want me to react for thinking of doing something?
So I'll never consider doing anything. All right.
I don't agree with that at all.
It's just like my mind exploded. I was like, hold on. So I have to thank you
For not
the
doing
least
something.
amount of effort possible.
The net worth of your thought resulted in 0. We're still at the same place.
How much
so
appreciation?
While the thought is delightful, and I'm proud that your brain is firing on all synapses, it truly had no effect
It's
on my
basically
life.
just she was just giving a compassion test for you. She was doing a little barometer. She's
Also,
like,
but
this is
it-
how
but
nice
also-
I am. But what do you think
But
about
nice
this?
is execute.
Doing the gesture.
Right? You don't, like you walk by a homeless person and you're
Also,
like, I thought about getting
would
them
she-
flowers."
Also,
Would it
you
have-
only get that once. You only get that, I was going to do a thing, but then it not ended up working out. And then the people go, oh, okay, well, thank you for the gesture or whatever. But when you do it the second and third time, people are like, well, now what are you doing? What is this? Is
Come
this just
through.
a way of... This is like
Yeah.
this is like a George Costanza-like move where they're like, donate to the Human Fund. You know what I mean? Where it's just a fake
I don't
charity.
watch Seinfeld.
Man.
I don't watch Seinfeld, bro.
Damn, dude.
Corny ass show.
Corny ass.
I'm
mean,
gonna walk
it's-
in the door weird. Comedic genius.
You really
Hey,
are.
guys.
You really are a white guy that watched Martin.
I am. I watch Martin, bro.
I did
It's
too.
so much funnier.
I really did.
It's so much funnier,
God.
dude.
I enjoy both.
It's
But
yeah,
what
it's
is
the
so
perfect
funny
sitcom.
about Kramer? I don't get it.
It's not Kramer. It's just a character. That's like
Yeah.
just one.
He's also from Long Island, so it's kind of. Jerry has a very Long Island
Long
sensibility.
Island Jew thing is what it is.
Yeah.
But also it was all placed in Manhattan, which is where you grew up. So that should be like a.
Yeah, I related to none of it.
Yeah, well, it's
I don't
a
think
different
you
part of
watched-
Oh, we
Manhattan.
got into trouble parking. Who has a car? What life
I
do
think
you
you
live?
gotta watch. No, but he didn't have a car.
Jerry
he didn't,
was
Jerry
a
didn't have
highly
a car.
successful
George's-
comedian that
George's-
did 2 sets a week.
George's George's parents.
That's
had
what
a
I
car.
didn't like, is
I
how
just
often
don't
he was
get it.
available
Bro,
No, he
for
was
friends.
the weekend headliner.
Fuck
He was
that.
weekend headlining. He
Yeah,
always
but-
travel.
Yeah,
So he was just doing
I
like
don't-
the California comic of being like, I'll just go on the road on weekends and then I'm
Guys,
good.
I don't know what he did. There was a big thing with the fucking mailman. Guys,
I mean,
it's
you
just
could
like,
do this about any
this-
show. You could be like, oh, I don't know. It's
No,
like,
you've heard my point about this, right? Why Martin's funnier to me?
no, but you don't have to make that point. I'm just saying,
I will.
like, it's just-
Martin would make fun of Gina's head every episode,
Yeah.
right?
And also force his tongue in her mouth.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But he'd make fun of Gina's head every episode, right? How big it was, right? That's not the character's head.
Yeah, that's the real woman's head.
Yeah.
Right? That's not written in the script. Right. That's Martin making fun of another human being.
Yeah.
I related to that, right?
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm not going, look how these storylines intertwine in a clever way, right? I'm just going, make fun of that bitch's big fucking head. Right? That's what I'm thinking. So it was hilarious to me in the moment. I'm sure if I go back and watch Seinfeld, I'm like, wow, this is a real
you never watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Love Curb.
So then it's
Love
dude,
Curb.
it's the same thing just earlier. Is all that is.
Curb, I
Curb-
prefer Curb, to be perfectly honest, but I do like
But
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld was smart because he just surrounded himself with genius, like really good actors.
I like Seinfeld as a guy.
Seinfeld's the worst of the show.
Sure.
He's the least funny. He's the least like it. But like Jason Alexander is fucking an all-time great as George Costanza.
He might be. I didn't hook me, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't even know how we got here.
Lock your door.
For Kramer?
Yeah, like
He was lonely. He was a lonely.
No, but lock your door. Like if you don't like him coming in.
Oh, he liked him coming in.
He did like him coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah, he was
You
lonely.
come into my fucking apartment 2 times
Oh,
like that
I just
with
realized
that
who
hurricane?
you kind of look like.
Who's that?
Cody from Step by Step.
Day by day.
Fresh start over, different every way.
Yeah,
The people we love, and he's the whoa, bro, the dude that lives in the van next to their house.
Another Martin line that fucking killed me. Ready? Oh God, I want to get up the clip because I'll butcher it. But there's a little kid. He's like fucking 5 years old, and he says a line to Martin. He goes, "But Martin, I don't want to go to school today." And then Martin just goes, "But Martin, I don't want to go to school today." He just mocks a 5-year-old to his fucking face. Like imagine what that kid's going through, right? It's like his parents are juicing him up that day.
Yeah.
You're on a major sitcom. This could make or break us. You know, parents talk like that about their like little stage kids or whatever like that. Go out there and kill it. You just got to get your lines right. And Martin's fucking improving with the kid. And making fun of the poor kid. This guy was hilarious. This guy's a genius.
Yeah, I think you're really getting caught on the Martin versus Seinfeld thing, where it was we were both agreed
can acknowledge
we
that.
all like Martin. No, but we could all say Martin was a good show.
Martin, as who's a better lead, Martin or Seinfeld?
Well, Martin could act. Yes, Seinfeld couldn't act. That's the problem. That's why I'm saying Seinfeld surrounded himself with the great.
He's so much better on his show, where he just gets to be his weird self.
Yeah. His weird, arrogant self. It's the
Yeah.
best part about him.
Yeah.
It's the first time you're like, oh, I know who Seinfeld is.
Completely understand him.
Yeah.
How is he arrogant and likable? It's odd.
Yeah, because he's
talented.
Because he's no bullshit though, and he's always
that's
been
it.
that way. Even since before he got famous, he was always kind of like this. Like, you know, you do weird shit and he kind of gives you a look. Like, he's not afraid to...
He's a kid I would have beat the shit out of in high school, though. I would have beat the fuck out of him in high school. He would have said some dumb, smug shit with that confidence, and I would have threw him straight through a trophy
which is
case.
which is warranted. Warranted, no less. Like, do you hear that thing? Do you hear that thing he said to Judah?
What's the deal with us? Shut the fuck up, Jerry!
Yeah.
Boom! Head first.
Yeah.
What's the deal with your face and plastic glass? Okay.
He just gives no fucks. That's the funny part about
I
him.
love him
Did you hear
too.
the thing he did to
And he's
Judah?
rich. No, what happened?
Like he like went into the cellar or somewhere where Judah was just getting off stage.
Judah
and-
is Judah Friedlander, by
Judah
the way.
Friedlander,
Everybody's listening.
yes.
Yeah, Judah
Very
is
funny comic.
Funny comic. He wears the same outfit every day.
And it says world champ
World
on
champ.
it because he says he's the world champ of like everything.
And
I
part of his
wonder if
character.
he's ever just not feeling Judah and he goes out and like sweats.
I've seen him. He used to live in my neighborhood. I never saw him not in
Really?
character. Yeah.
So he I guess
That's
he
wild.
bumped into Seinfeld and then, you know, he was like, "Oh, what's up, Jerry?" And he just goes, "Judah, still doing the world's champ thing, I see." And then just walked away from him. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're still doing that, huh?" And like kind of like just fucking what? But it's like that's who that guy is. He's never be like, "Oh, that's a great new bit." He'll just be like,
Like, why wouldn't Judah just mule kick him into traffic? Like, just be like, I am Jerry, as a matter of fact.
yeah,
Boom.
because no one's used to that brutal level of honesty of just being someone like, I can't even pretend to like you, even though I like you as a person. I can't pretend to like what you're doing, so I won't. And that I kind of respect.
I also respect it because it's honest. It's not malicious.
No.
He truly is
Perplexed.
wondering why.
Yeah.
He has fucking Asperger's. That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
it
he's
is.
definitely
he's
autistic.
completely
Oh, he's
disconnected to his
Absolutely.
emotion, and he
Robot.
just
Yeah,
says,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
watched it. What is that word? That show on Netflix? Have you watched it with the Asperger kid?
Comedians in cars.
yeah, that one.
Where the
Who gives a
Asperger
shit?
kid interviews
It's a good one,
comedians.
but a lot of what this kid does is very Seinfeldy. It's just straight truth, not realizing it's funny, and
Right.
just being cunty.
Yeah.
Atypical.
Oh,
yeah, it's
yes,
a good show.
yes,
It's a
yes,
good
yes.
show.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's
Michael
really good.
Rappaport is on it. He keeps
He's
tweeting
got
about
a
it.
big blister under his bottom lip.
Who? Rappaport, right?
Rappaport, yeah.
So
just
what's
a
up with
sweet
that?
herp. I don't know.
But can you not get like a filler for that or anything like that?
I
or-
mean, you should be able to do a lot of things if you have that much money. What I wouldn't advise is
Yeah.
to put fucking Blistex on it when
Yeah.
you're on the red
Just
carpet and
shine
then
it
have
up.
it just an immediate pong back in
Yeah.
every camera.
It's just
Looks
yeah.
like you have a dick jizzing out of your lip, dude. What
Yeah.
are you doing?
There are boats being like, I think it's east from here because I can see it. Planes know not to
Fucking
land within 100
Carmax
feet of there.
herpy fucking lip.
Guys, give him a break. He's fighting Donald Trump every day.
He truly is.
Every
And
day.
man,
he's
is
fighting
his-
a good fight.
It sucks because his jawline is my nightmare. Like, and I know that's my future. It's that Irish, just fucking
Circle.
face to
He
shoulder.
calls Donald Trump Dick Stain Donald. If there's anybody with a dick stain
Yeah.
on their own lip,
I mean, it looked like you got hit by a dick dart, and it just pierced your stupid skin.
no, he's funny though.
He
Rap
is funny. He's definitely
He's
man.
got a
funny.
huge following too with women with the Housewives thing. He does all those Real Housewives shows.
What do you
and, like,
mean?
Like the
Didn't he get
hosts
shown
it?
up by one of those?
no, he
shows?
goes on like Watch What Happens Live all the time. Yeah, he got into an argument with one because he like watches every episode.
Because
he's
he's fucking
committed.
Johnny Hot Take. Every piece of news that comes out, he has some stupid video of him screaming about it.
Remember when he had
has
a
some
rap
opinion-
video?
No.
No.
He had a rap video. He was like he did a rap song.
Cannon doesn't like Rappaport.
I do, but he bothers me. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
why.
there's
I
something
really
about-
because I really liked him, like in what the fuck was that movie where Tyra Banks got absolutely sniped from that clock tower?
What was the
Where
other?
he plays
was in
Remy,
the television show
the
Grounded
bald
for
head,
Life.
the bald head skinhead with Mike Epps. What fucking
Yes, yeah,
movie?
yeah, yeah,
Lawrence
yeah.
Fishburne. I'm
Yeah.
literally naming the entire. What?
Oh, I
movie
know what
is
you're
this?
talking about.
I know the movie. I
That
won't say.
that scene is embedded in my head for the rest of my life. That on top of Tyra Banks' fucking camera shot where she just got sniped out and she spits blood towards the camera out of her mouth and she's just like she acts her ass off in that scene, but it crushed me. I still have it in the back of my head. What is it? Higher learning. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But
yeah.
I loved him in that. I loved him, I mean, it was a dark, terrible role, but he had like some really good shit back in the day. And
I
then
think
He
it's
was in
the
a terrible
political
sitcom.
shit
he's
that
a
annoys me.
caricature of himself. He's like season 8 Ross from Friends. It's like we know who you are and you're gonna be you like to the 10th
You know,
degree
Friends
Or Johnny
every
Drama.
fucking time. Yeah, maybe that.
From Entourage. But yeah, for me, I think it's just the political shit that bothers
He
me.
is
Like,
Johnny Drama.
I just meant Ross from Friends in the 8th season because he was a caricature of his original character.
okay, guys, I didn't watch Friends either.
Well,
I don't
I
know,
didn't like
I don't know if
Friends,
you
so
guys
I'm
know this
on-
We
about
watch
me.
white
I'm not
shows.
gay. Did you guys know that?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
You hold- you-
because I am sitting.
You really hold
cross-legged, but
yourself
I
gay.
definitely- I am sitting cross-legged with a fucking 3/4 shirt on,
Yeah.
but I didn't watch. What was it? Seinfeld and
Friends.
Yeah, Friends. I
Friends
never got
pilot,
into.
really great pilot though. If you want to
I went
study
back
like a
and
real
watched the
good
pilot,
sitcom
but
pilot.
I don't like the show.
Hey, Rachel's nipples were hard every episode. I
Remember
tuned
when you
in
could
as
tell
an
an actress to
11-year-old.
do that?
Yeah.
Every
Get
actress
some
was
cubes
told
for Rach.
to
Yeah.
have hard nipples in a scene, and
Yeah.
that was completely okay.
Totally fine.
Nobody's been Me Too'd for that. Isn't that interesting?
Well, it was an agreement.
Yeah.
Everything's in agreement. So is Ronaldo's rapist.
I didn't
or
even
the
read
chick.
it.
He raped someone?
No, I don't. God, listen. But Cristiano
Allegedly.
Ronaldo allegedly 8 years ago, right after he signed the biggest transfer deal for ever in the history of soccer from Manchester United to Real Madrid, was in a hotel room with a girl, and what she says that he was like begging her to touch his dick, and eventually she touched his dick or something. They made out, and eventually she says that he raped her, and then his people contacted her and they paid her $375,000 to not say anything, and I guess now
She said something anyway.
No, a journalist went out to try because they heard of the story and they went out to research it. So
How'd they hear about the story?
So here's the thing: is I don't know. It got around.
she came out.
She came out. But,
She came out and
but did you
spoke
see
to
his
a thing.
testimony? Because he was quoted as saying she did. At any point, did she try to get you to stop? He said she kept saying stop and no.
No.
Yes, it was. It
show
was
me
him.
that. I don't say that without knowing that's a
literally.
fact.
Don't say that without knowing that.
Nah,
I
because
read
you gotta be
the
careful
tweet
with
thing.
these allegations.
The Twitter thread that came from the journalist this morning. That's where I read that.
But that could have been like.
But it was a part of the actual testimony. She had a screen grab of it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What he said about this is his official statement is no, this is fake news. People use my name for credibility, etc. Here's the thing: it's an interesting conversation because it sucks to be famous now, man. It sucks because they're gonna come for you every single thing that's happened in your life.
They always came for you. Now it just takes way quicker. People always
no, because things were more acceptable back in the day. If you ask 50-year-old chicks, if you ask 50-year-old women, is it okay if a guy grabs your butt in the club?
Right.
They'd be like, oh, man or man. It's completely acceptable
Yeah,
in their
or
minds.
I'll punch him in the face. Like
whatever.
Yeah.
20-year-old girls, if a guy grabs your butt in the club, that's rape to them.
Right.
Or rape culture, whatever it is. So times have definitely changed. The definition of what is acceptable and not acceptable has definitely changed. But what is peculiar to me is that 8 years ago, this girl accepts $375,000, which is your payment. That's when you decide how much it costs for whatever happened to happen. That's what that is.
Really.
No, but it's your silence, but it's the cost of whatever happened.
The cost of rape is $375,000.
Or whatever, allegedly whatever happened to her.
Would you
right?
take a rape for $375,000?
No,
that
I mean,
yes.
That
would,
is like
would a girl would sit on me or do something like that to me? You're saying?
Sure.
I guess that's the equivalent, right? It's a heterosexual rape, but also.
Oh wait, but the most attractive girl ever.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So would the most attractive girl on the planet have sex with me? I feel like I could stomach that.
What if she begged?
Like if
no, but wait, you're forgetting some of the details. What
Okay.
if she begged to have sex with you?
Okay, so the most attractive girl on the planet begs to have sex with me.
Yep.
And then I allow it to happen, and then the next day she's like, "Can you just not tell anybody?" And I'd be like, "Sure," even though all my boys know. And then I'd be
already
like,
know.
$375,000.
I don't think I could come.
Probably not. I'm just saying it is a tricky situation. Once you accept a sum of money, it's the same thing with Stormy Daniels thing. It's like, what's the point of an NDA if you're just going to DA?
But that's the whole
that was
point
different. It
about
wasn't the end. The whole thing was broken by them, wasn't it?
No, allegedly he didn't sign it, so it wasn't good.
Yeah.
But she signed. Once you fucking sign it,
Yeah,
you agree.
but if you get money and the ability to sell a tell-all, fuck that. Get
Yeah.
money.
Nah, because that's what you're saying now. But one day you're gonna have these chicks sign NDAs.
Please, by all means, make money off.
Oh no,
me.
you're
Who gives a
married.
shit?
See, this is bullshit. You bunch of married guys who are like, "Go get your money, girls," whatever like that. There's us single guys. It's frightening. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of a break because we got to do the Deadbeat Kaz segment. You know, obviously we got our resident Deadbeat Kaz away in Seattle, doing his wrestling thing. But Kaz is gonna have a weekly segment where he talks his shit from afar because we want to incorporate our brother. Okay, so this is what he's talking today. Peep it.
Sight for sore eyes and ears. What's up, folks? It's your boy Kaz back here for the Flagrant 2 podcast. I am live in Seattle, Washington today, but that does not mean you will not get some of these hot sports takes. Shout out to Akaash, Andrew, free my guy Alex, all day, every day. Miss you, bud. Can't wait for you to come home. Let's talk some sports, God damn it. And obviously, yesterday, the goddamn Jets, the goddamn Giants, and the goddamn Bills all lost. I don't know what to say at this point, man. I knew the Giants weren't going to be that good this year, but I thought they'd be at least exciting. You know what I mean? With Odell Beckham locked in long term. You got Saquon Barkley being as good as advertised. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to, it's easy for me to blame Eli, usually. I'm a sucker for blaming Eli. I just hate the Eli Manning dopey face that he always does, but I can't even put on Eli right now, man. It's just, they just suck, bro. I don't know. Like maybe it's they need some O-line help. Maybe the defense needs to step up and put the offense in better positions to score. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do, but I'm not one of those big blue, Kool-Aid sippers that were, so ready and willing to just hand the NFC East to the Giants because, they got Odell back and I don't know, man. Like, and if you've noticed in the past couple of years, when certain, and this is why, a lot of GMs refuse to pay wide receivers big bucks. Odell's been cool now, but he's liable to wild out. He's liable to wild out, and I think that time is coming, man. That time is coming. I think Eli's going to be the first one to be thrown under that bus because once the coaches make changes and the offense makes changes and the offensive line makes changes, I don't think Eli's played terrible, but he's got to be the one who's got to fall on his sword now, man. Like, I remember how hot it was for him last year when he got subbed out and, they ruined his starting streak or whatever, his games played streak. And hindsight is 2020. Maybe it was time for him to go. Maybe. I mean, granted, you got Saquon Barkley, but you're already running him into the ground. You know what I'm saying? He's a rookie. He gets the ball a bunch of times. And yes, I'm sure he's got a shit ton of tread on his tires by now. But, a shit ton of tread to go on his tires. But I wouldn't want to burn that kid out so quickly, man. Get some O-line help. Trade somebody. Trade Sterling Shepard. Get some help. Get somebody to block, dude. Like, get this guy protected. Keep him upright until you're willing to spend on a new quarterback, draft a new quarterback, or go get Teddy Bridgewater. Go get motherfucking, goddamn Tyrod Taylor. Go get somebody out there that is willing to make plays when there are no plays. Like Eli is a standstill pocket quarterback, and he's almost like a center in the NBA. He's like a Dwight Howard, like back in your day. He's almost like Carmelo Anthony. It's like back in your day, that could have been that absolutely would be a space for you in the NFL. But right now, man, you got to be a guy who can make plays when there ain't no plays. Look at Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he'll throw a couple of interceptions, but he won't throw the game away for you. He will make plays when there aren't plays. And I just don't think Eli's there anymore, man. He's old, and I don't think let me be clear. I don't think this is necessarily his fault that the Giants suck so badly. But you got to do something. You got to do something. Speaking of my Jets, I knew they were going to suck, so I'm not really too worried about that. But your man Sam Darnold got us really excited the first week. You know what I'm saying? He played really well in the preseason, played pretty well in the first couple of games. And, you got to always remember the kid's only 21 years old. He's a baby. He's going to be very, very good. If he was anything close to where we think he's going to be in the next couple of years this year, we'd be ahead of the curve, as in Jets fans. But let's keep it real. Rookie quarterbacks suffer. Second-year quarterbacks suffer even more. I'd much rather see a rookie suffer his first year knowing that you see what you see in him into that second year where they could grow into somebody like a Mitch Trubisky, like a Patrick Mahomes, like, a lot of these second and third year quarterbacks that are absolutely, Jared Goff, that are smoking this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it takes a while for it to get figured out, and I think Sam Darnold's going to be one of those guys to figure it out. So I wouldn't worry so much yet. Jets fans, Giants fans, I wouldn't worry either. We were going to suck anyway. But who knows? Maybe things could get interesting by the end of the year. Moving on. Basketball's back, goddammit. NBA basketball, I'm such a crack fiend for basketball, and it's sad, but I don't care. I tuned in on ESPN like everybody else to watch LeBron James in his Laker uniform, to watch Kawhi in his Raptors uniform, to watch all these new faces in new places like DeMar DeRozan and all that other stuff. But that all stops tonight, goddammit, because the New York Knicks, that's right, the 2019 NBA champion New York Knicks are back in action tonight. My adult sons, Mitch Robinson and Kevin Knox, are about to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking what Trey Burke is doing. It's going to be a good year for the Knicks. All I tell New York fans, please, for the love of God, temper your expectations. Temper your expectations. Kevin Knox is going to look like the next best shit sometimes. And there's going to be some times where he looks like just shit. But be prepared for the ups and downs, just like Sam Darnold, just like the Giants. And I know I'm asking a lot for New York fans to be patient, but goddammit, we got a good thing here with the Knicks. I'm glad we didn't trade for Jimmy Butler. I'm glad we've got some cap space. I'm glad we're moving on with Noah. Listen, we got a good thing here. It's called a foundation. It's being built, you know? There is good things happening for the Knicks. Do not expect them to win a ton of games this year, but expect them to establish a culture. I like Fizdale. I like Scott Perry. I like what they're doing. They got cap space. They got young, exciting talent for the first time in a long time. They got a star that's willing to come back soon. And of course, that's Porzingis, and it's probably going to get signed for $1 kajillion in the next couple of months. And then we'll have cap space next year in the loaded free agent class where we could use a Kyrie, a KD, a Jimmy Butler, or a Kawhi Leonard. Any one of those guys. Boogie Cousins, Klay Thompson, any of these guys, man. Any of them could be the difference between being a contender and being the goddamn pretender. Anyway, it's your boy Kaz right here, Flagrant 2 Podcast, Asshole Army, keep it tight always. I'm about to head to Monday Night Raw and do what I do. Checking out from Seattle, Washington. I miss you guys. I'll be back very, 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 very soon. And we got some good shit coming our way, man. So take it easy. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out.
We should have a private cloud where every experience can be documented but not accessed until like lawsuit or something like that. Right?
Well, now you're asking for us to all get a chip put in our head. Now we're back to conspiracy
Or the Hilton
theory.
can put it in the Hilton puts it in the fucking ceiling fan. You don't have to be that crazy with it. All I'm saying is, what if we had documented every situation? Right? Nobody could access it unless it goes to some fuck shit.
Some Eternal Sunshine thing where they can just go into your mind and just kind of
Is that a movie?
You got to start seeing stuff, man.
Is Martin in it?
it's the one he missed.
Oh, damn. I don't see. Y'all see Knight's Tale?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Actually, he was filming Blue
gotta
Streak
see
at the
Knight's
time.
Tale, bro.
No, Martin played Kate.
See, y'all know it. Y'all know fucking Kramer's dance.
Martin played Kate Winslet. It was before Big Mama's house.
God, man. That's right, dude. Big Mama's house?
Mm-hmm.
The best.
What a delightful movie.
Great movie. Wait, was that before Tyler Perry?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
Tyler just ripped off Martin.
I mean,
that's a very
this is a conversation for not us white guys to have because apparently they've
now?
been sticking black guys in dresses for a long time, and I want to be respectful.
Well, everybody's interested. I hate that argument.
know,
Like you
I
can't
know,
put somebody in a
everybody
fucking dress. It is what it is.
They also were doing that like 40 years earlier with Some Like It Hot, which is that movie with I think it's Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe, where it's basically like a it's like all of those same movies where it's like two guys gotta run away from the mob. They dress up like women and pretend to be in like a band with these other women, and then they start. One of the guys who's dressed as a woman falls for Marilyn Monroe, and she's just like, "Oh, you're just a trusting friend," and he's trying to like bridge that gap of being. It's like every fucking movie. Well, they're all like that. Like Juwanna Man.
What about Ladybugs?
I love that movie.
Yeah,
Jonathan Brandis died young.
What do you mean he
Heart
died?
attack. Or no, he killed himself, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Earth 2, I think, or some Sea World thing.
I don't know, but they did it.
Steam.
Didn't they switch it up?
It is 3 a.m.
They switched it up.
He's dead, though, for sure, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, he plays a chick to be.
Yeah.
And then they did it with that girl who went crazy, Amanda something.
Knox.
No,
Seals.
Amanda Bynes, and they did a couple soccer movies. They did one, the girl plays on the guy's team, and they one, the guy plays on the girl's team.
And Juwanna Man.
What is Juwanna Man?
Juwanna Man, he plays for the WNBA.
Oh, I thought that was a baseball player.
No. Martin might be in it.
Yeah, he might be.
Nah, Martin's the star, bro.
Who was in Juwanna Man? Who was the main person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know what
I
I'm
the
talking
guy.
about.
Yeah, but whatever.
Okay.
Fuck
Rebecca A.
that guy.
Fox, I think, is in it.
Oh, my God. I would
Possibly.
let her shit in my face.
Guys, can we talk about this Kawhi Leonard laugh real quick that everybody makes a big deal of? Everybody's making this big deal out of this Kawhi Leonard laugh. Like
it's a perfect meme.
Jay-Z has been laughing like this for the last 20 years.
But
it's the same fucking laugh.
But
every single rapper.
But they've been making fun of Jay-Z for 20
No, we
years.
haven't.
Oh.
Ari Spears is
Avion
the only
Crockett
one.
had a television
two
show
guys,
based on his laugh.
Two guys do an imitation of his laugh, and nobody makes it. This Kawhi laugh is a fucking
NJ
global sensation.
Yeah.
It's great because
But
it's his facial expression. He's like panicked.
He is so uncomfortable in his own
Dude,
body,
he
and you
looks
can
like,
just see it.
Dude, he
He's
looks
a
like he's in the
weirdo.
sunken place while that's happening. It's like a tear
didn't watch
coming
that
down
movie.
his eye. It's just no references, man. You
I
don't
didn't
have
watch
to
that
keep saying
movie.
you didn't
You
watch
guys
it.
watch
tough
weird
to
shit.
know
exist,
what
Oh, you
happened.
guys
but it
watch
must be
weird-ass
tough
shit.
to exist in a
Yeah.
reality where other people consume media and you just
Guys, do you know about
Think
surf
in a dark
vlogs?
room
Do you know anything
most
about
times.
surf vlogs?
And you're
Do you watch
doing-
surf vlogs? Do you guys know about that? Where's Job? Huh?
Does the majority of the
What about
people
Ben
know
Gravy?
more about...
You know about Ben Gravy?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Great surf
Benny
vlogger,
Graves.
man. Kills it. It's my shit. Watch YouTube. Stop watching TV, dorks.
Stop. I don't.
What is
I feel
this
like
fucking
you're
old
working
shit?
For, do you have
I
a
watch
YouTube
Instagram.
tattoo on you? I
Bro,
think you got a YouTube
I'm
tattoo.
working. I'm definitely working for YouTube. That's
Yeah.
a fact. That's a tattoo that's gonna stay. I'll go places. All I'm saying is, what movie did you reference again?
Do you want a man?
No, the last one.
Well, you're just.
You were
asking
just
too
trashing
much.
me for not knowing it.
all of them.
Oh,
Oh,
Get
yeah.
Oh
Out.
yeah, Get Out. Yeah, I didn't see it. I saw Stepford Wives. Same shit.
Your producer looks like Jordan Peele. How have you not seen Get Out?
He looks nothing like Jordan Peele, dude. With the
glasses, he
looks
does so.
nothing like Jordan
100
Peele, bro.
You haven't heard
Looks
that?
nothing like Jordan Peele,
I
dude.
100%,
kidding me?
and I'm gonna stay on
Dude,
that.
you gotta stay on it, but he looks nothing like.
What are you kidding? Yes, he does.
Nah, bro.
You are mentally disabled
Oh,
if you
dude.
don't see that. You
Dude,
don't
Jordan
see
Peele's
that.
a black dude.
Picture that you pulled up
Dude.
looks so much like you.
Dude, not at all, bro.
Thank
Dude,
you.
Nothing like him, bro.
I'm trying to think
Nothing
of
like
the
him. Has anybody ever said that to you, Eden?
Dude, in
Never
those,
once.
with
We
the
gotta
hood
take a
up,
picture
and-
of that.
Dude,
I
sorry.
didn't agree until you pulled up
Guys.
the perfect picture.
No, these are golden retriever observations. They've never seen someone like you before. This is why you look so similar to the other guys that they don't see
Dude, that
people like.
was
This is a Latino.
crazy. Even at the
This is
same
a Latino.
mustache, man.
This is a Latino. Jordan Peele
That doesn't matter.
is a black. Is he not?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a half
hey,
black.
Throw an S on there, would you?
Full, I believe.
He's a half black or full black?
He's a full black.
This is a Latin.
That doesn't
Okay.
matter. That
They're
has
very
nothing-
different.
That has nothing to do.
Of course. Look at him. There's no way.
I mean, that picture. I couldn't have put a more compelling argument
Not
right
at
in front of
all.
your
You gotta
face.
put up that. You gotta put up that. You gotta put up a post of those two next to each other because otherwise, that's gonna. I mean, it's not gonna play well for us. 'cause
I
he's
feel
off
like
camera.
I feel like I airdropped you that picture. How did that specific picture come up? It's
Look at
perfect.
it, dude. It's-
Look, nothing like him.
It's unreal.
Nothing like him at all, in my personal opinion. Okay, so the Kawhi laugh, we're over it. It's not a big deal, right?
Yeah, it was a fun meme.
I feel bad for this guy, Kawhi.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
He seems real stupid. Like he seems like he's taking advice from his fucking uncle, which is a classic mistake. I mean, that's like a tale as old as time.
No uncle's ever had
taking
advice.
stupid advice from like some shyster family member that thinks they know the ins and outs of the sports management
Is it the
business.
worst advice?
It's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Is it the worst advice to go to a big market city and make
No, but to
10
do what he
times more
did,
money?
to a classy organization like San Antonio, he could only come out looking bad.
Did you see what happened with the injury?
Yeah.
And then did you see what happened with another player on the team's injury? I forgot what it was. I think it was like Tony Parker or something like that. Like clearly their med staff
Oh, I
is
don't.
fucked.
Yeah, I don't disagree with him getting a second opinion and even treating himself. I don't see that at all. But I think he should have gone to games. I think he shouldn't have made that big fuss about going to the fucking Dodgers game. I don't think he should have been just like out publicly while he's nursing the supposed injury. While there's questions, his teammates are saying like, "What the fuck is going on?" Pop is saying, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's just kind of living a public life and not doing what he's being paid to do.
I guess
Which is go to games. Just go to games.
my feeling is this: like, you got to take care of my body, and if you fuck up my body once and then you fuck up my body again,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna have a little bit of animosity towards you because my body makes me hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like we do comedy for a living, right? What if we got a tongue surgery and then we start speaking stupid,
Yeah.
right? And then we got another one and we're still speaking stupid. That's our fucking livelihood, and we're doing this for $25 a spot. Imagine you were getting $200 million lisping all over the place.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking pissed, right? You're like, I don't want you doing anymore. That's where I'm looking at this guy come from. Like these NBA guys, the way they treat their body. Like I did one scene with Blake Griffin for this movie called The Female Brain, right? And like we had to wrestle in the scene, so I'm like kind of like kicking at his knee and shit like that, like joking around as part of the scene. But
there's a moment there where I'm like talking to the director and I'm talking to some other people, and they're like, hey, just keep in mind, like, his body's worth $200 million. Right? Like, that's like, if we have a wrestling scene, we could fall on the ground, bang our fucking knee, our chin, our elbow. It doesn't matter. Any slight injury to him is worth millions of fucking dollars.
Right.
So I totally understand why he's like, fuck this organization.
I don't know.
I didn't have an ego the entire time I was here. I did everything the
then
coach
why
asked
now,
me to do.
though? Why
because
then?
you broke my fucking thigh.
But they didn't break it. They mismanaged it for sure, and I totally understand that.
That's it.
Get your own thing. Bring your doctor on the fucking road with you, or miss most games. Go to a playoff day, whatever. Like, be a part of the organization. Don't be a fucking clown. Continue to keep your price high because you actually look like you're gonna play for an organization.
Price is high no matter what.
Yeah, but I mean that definitely sullied him for sure. But not his basketball contract. Now I'm talking endorsements. This uncle.
What is he gonna endorse?
Well, that's the thing. Is this uncle wants him to go to L.A. to be in this major market so he can somehow grow a personality
Every agent
overnight.
Wants you to be
the kid's a
in LA.
fucking idiot.
What agent doesn't want their player to be in LA or New York?
But it doesn't matter because with social media, people can be a big brand anywhere. It really doesn't matter about your market.
Why did LeBron go to LA?
Because he's
LeBron
doing production
also
stuff.
LeBron also was a superstar in Cleveland.
Sure, I'm not denying whether he can or can't, but it's easier to take meetings. It's easier to just shoot a day at the
But
Fox lot.
LeBron is doing
You can't
creative
do that in Cleveland.
production work. Kawhi has nothing to do with any of that
So what happens
shit.
is Kawhi has a name brand. I mean, you know how this works. Kawhi has a name brand, and all of a sudden you get a production company attached to his name brand, and then Kawhi just walks into a meeting with this production company. He has nothing to do with it, but just because he's there, they're able to do something, and that's how it works.
But they're
That's
still
how
going to
all
have
these
to
guys
do
have it.
they're going to have to do projects with him with his initial company for anybody to get interested. That's how Kevin Durant is doing it with his company. He's got all those vlogs and all that behind the scenes stuff, and his name is
wonder
selling.
why he's doing it.
But of course, his name is
He's
selling
in the tech
and
capital
pushing
of the world.
I know.
So they're
but
doing it.
But he's pushing that product. Kawhi is not a personality that a camera could follow him around and people would be like, I'm into what this production company's creating. He's
not
a
gonna lie.
fucking mute dummy.
I would love to watch that.
Of silence, of fucking ER, the basketball player. Hi, bird. Like that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you want to listen to this fucking...
I'm curious. I'm curious about your life. Are you quiet all the time?
Yeah,
Like,
I
are you
bet he is.
That's
That's
comfortable
fun
with your friends?
That's one for 1 hour.
Who knows?
One episode. That's
Who
it.
knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe there's something
No,
interesting there.
I know.
But you
Everyone
guys are
knows.
making
You
the
know.
argument that and we're operating as agents here. You're making the argument that there's no difference in opportunity or financial gain from being in Minnesota and being in LA.
If you're a superstar in the NBA, then no, it doesn't.
You're so fucking wrong. It's absurd that I can't even believe that you're
It's
saying
cra-
it.
It depends
It's
on
so
what you're
fucking
looking.
stupid
It
to
depends
even
on
say.
what you're looking to do.
San
though.
Antonio or LA, you don't think there's
But then
more
why-
opportunities in LA? Just real estate alone.
No, of course
Just
I think.
fucking
Yeah.
real estate alone. Just a real estate company. Can we just put your face on this fucking picture? You're here. Just the fact, you know how many sponsors are attached to the Staples Center alone, and they're like, "Hey, we got a photo shoot. We just want to put you on the fucking thing, please."
I'm also not even arguing that wasn't the right move. I think you can go wherever you
I'm
want.
just saying you
All
should-
I'm arguing is his behavior to lead into that shit. Like, if he wanted to get his brand rolling immediately,
Right.
he could have played ball and came out the good guy, and all that shit, regardless if he went to Toronto or not, all that shit could kind of start get rolling immediately. Now he's
Guys.
probably delayed a bunch of personal fucking filming or whatever
They're elite
projects.
athletes. We forgive them immediately. LeBron was in
I
LA for a
also-
week. They were painting over his fucking murals. He gets on the court, throws one assist,
Yeah.
and everybody in LA is jacking off into their fucking LeBron James jerseys. We forgive
How
winning.
disgusting are
We
their
forgive-
fans going to be?
They're
All
horrible.
the celebrity
It's fine.
assholes in
It's
their
fine.
fucking.
They're horrible. All I'm saying is
Empty by
they
the third
also
quarter.
know that. They also know that. And
Mm.
these elite athletes also know that fans are fickle. They love you when they're in their city. They hate you when you're not. It's
But
simple as that.
But that's where you want to be. I feel like that's where I'd want to be if I was an athlete. They
Where?
say that about like Mark Teixeira said that when he was on the Yankees because he got a huge contract, $180 million contract or something like that. And
First
they were
baseman, I remember.
yeah, there you go. And I was like, they were like, you know, you play for the Yankees, like you could have gone to other organizations, like Baltimore really wanted him, would have even matched the money.
Yeah.
And he was like, wouldn't you know, they'll be nice to you. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm a baseball player, I'm a competitor. He's like, I want to play in New York. He's like, if you don't want to get booed, go play in Illinois. You know, like where he basically was just, you know, pushing off the thing where it's like, it's a fucking, they should boo you if you're getting paid $180 million and now my ticket is $125 to see this, and then you strike out 3 times, like.
Yeah. And you could also, in Baltimore, have your face on a used car dealership logo
or in New York, have your face on every Modell's.
In Times Square.
Right.
So that's where the money is. So you want to be in New York. I'm just saying the amount of fucking money that gets thrown at you when you're in a major market. Remember the Knicks suck always?
Yep. Sell out.
Not only sell out, they're going to have some bum. Frankie Smokes is going to have some ad in New York City. He's going to be on a Subway ad. He sucks. The dude can't even cross the ball over from his left hand to his right. They put a fucking highlight up of Frankie Smokes recently, the New York Knicks' own account, and he was doing in and out, right to left crossover, and he would do it with his left hand, and he would have to watch the ball cross. This is a professional basketball player. Not good. He's going to have advertising just because he's in New York, because they have access to 10 million people.
Oh, sure.
San Antonio has 1 million. You're going to be selling plumbing.
It's definitely obviously better no matter if you're in a bigger market. But what I'm saying is if you're a superstar in any market now, it's better than it's ever been to be that because of social media, all that other stuff.
Sure, absolutely. I'm not saying it's not. You still have access to it.
Yeah.
But
you can be a star. You can't be a star in other sports if you're just kind of like in the middle of fucking nowhere, you know?
You think that there's certain sports where you maybe baseball?
Baseball, they have people that Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, like Aaron Judge. Really, those are like faces of baseball, and they're for they're on different teams, obviously. But like a fucking football team, I mean, I guess
football's issue is the mask,
is
the helmet. Like we don't know what they look like,
right?
Like we have no clue what most
quarterbacks you seem to know more than most.
We see them the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we see them on the sidelines the most. We're going over to also they're the one white guy. Do you know what I mean? There's
not always.
There's the one white guy on the team, so we're gonna know. Like I know who Adam Vinatieri is.
Yeah, the kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could see him. Do you know what I mean? He
also
is every guy at a Famiglia Pizza.
He's the only 65-year-old on the sideline.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam. But like, yes, so you're gonna see them a little bit more often. You're gonna see them in the press conference on ESPN every single time.
Right.
Like, obviously, you're gonna know Cam. You get to see them more.
Yeah.
But I remember Darrelle Revis. I'm almost 100% positive I saw him wearing his own jersey in a fucking SUV down the block from my house.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, that's fucking Darrelle Revis. But I didn't go up to him because how racist would it be to walk up to a black guy wearing a Darrelle Revis jersey and just going, "Are you Darrelle Revis?"
Yeah.
Like that. So,
that's actually perfect if he didn't want to get recognized.
Best thing.
Yeah, because any person that does would be like, dude, you're definitely Darrelle.
That's like hiding in
just
plain
because I'm
sight.
wearing his jersey, I'm Darrelle Revis.
Just because I'm dressed this way.
Exactly, right? But but it was one of those things, I swear to God, he must have been coming for practice and he was dropping off the car. It wasn't his actual, it was like a T-shirt that had his number on it.
Yeah,
But probably that they give him that
Yeah.
fucking practice to work out in. And, but I didn't say it. But as far as that, you never know who the fuck these guys look like.
Yeah.
Like Julio Jones, yeah. But like that's the biggest issue with football players. That's why they grow their hair all big. Right? Like if you notice they have elaborate hairstyles. It's not just Clay Matthews or Troy Polamalu. It's also
Larry Fitzgerald
Odell.
did it for a while.
Odell, maybe Larry,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
the whole dye shit Odell, it's not because he loves bleached hair.
It's like side part mohawk.
It's fucking marketing, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, nobody's going to know what I look like. Well, because I'm covered in pads and covered in everything and covered my face. I have the visor. Everything's gone. How can I be recognizable? The second he's off the field, that helmet's off.
Yeah.
There's certain guys that keep that shit on. No.
Yeah.
Helmet's off. He's doing exercises and dance moves. He knows why he's dancing.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the clip up there. It's marketing, PR.
Well, and all of his clips of him working out are helmetless, padless, and I mean, talk about short shorts and all that shit.
Oh, show it off,
wears,
boo.
He wears ballerina
Hell
clothes, and he
yeah.
looks like a goddamn treat out
That's
there.
it. Doesn't catch the ball with two hands in practice
Never,
Not
ever.
once. He
No.
knows. He knows what's going to make the
He doesn't
clips.
have, yeah.
Baseball sucks. That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying
I
to say.
agree.
Is baseball sucks.
I'll co-sign.
I'm just happy Akaash isn't here because it would be 3-on-1, you know?
No, but Akaash has to have some love for it because he is a fan of cricket,
Right.
and there are similarities.
Yeah.
Cricket is like a more boring baseball. It's just like, what's the worst thing about baseball is how long it is, right? And then
Yeah.
imagine it was like 2 days longer than that. That's cricket.
Yeah.
Right?
Tennis is that way too. Tennis can just go on for 4 fucking
my
hours.
God, bro.
Tennis, I don't get. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal.
Live is cool though. I've been
Yeah.
to the U.S. Open before. It's fun.
I worked the U.S. Open, and I was like working at a restaurant, and they were like, oh, one of the last days was like one of the final matches. They were like, come on, they like took me through the fucking tunnel of this thing, and I like walk out, and there's all these. Now at this point, it's just all elite, rich people paying crazy fucking money for this. I like walk up like almost courtside, pretty much like on that level, and I'm just like looking at it, and everyone like is watching it, like holy fucking shit. I watched 3 minutes. So I was like,
Nope.
cool. I'm gonna go catch the 7 train before it stops remember before all these fucks get in. I was like, I know. Even I
So
don't
let me get this
saw
straight.
Serena,
It's the
though.
guy in white against the guy in white.
Yeah, but the other white guy's wearing a headband. But I did see Serena. I did see Serena in person, just like walking by, and he's like,
She's a big
amazing physical.
God damn, I mean, specimen. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So I also went to the U.S. Open once with a buddy, right? And we're walking around checking out the different matches and stuff. And it's actually kind of cool because there are certain like off-site matches where there's like 3 rows of stands.
Yeah.
It's almost like a concert.
It's exactly what like what festival.
Festival.
There's a little
Yep.
stage and a
Yep.
big stage, whatever, right?
There's
And
people in tents playing tennis. You know what I mean? It's like,
so they have like the open mic tennis match, and so you can see like elite guys. You know, these guys are like 50th in the world or something like that. Like pretty fucking elite athletes that you're that close to. So it's kind of cool. But the matches are more or less boring. And I'm just watching these guys, like this guy from fucking Australia play this guy from like Argentina. And nobody has any like passion or personality in the fans or anything like that. And then there's a Serena and Venus Williams, doubles match, right? Now I'm coming from fucking watching some Australian, right? Nobody giving a fuck. Now I go to Serena's and Venus, and the match starts. And every time they score a point, there's just all these black chicks in the crowd like, okay. And I'm telling you, the vibe was so different. It was so fucking live.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're watching like their superhero.
right.
Yeah.
Like, it was like what we got watching fucking Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, this was Serena and Venus. This was their fucking superhero. And
I mean, Serena's the unequivocal greatest ever, right? Like it's
female
Female.
tennis?
Yeah.
She has one more championship than the other chick.
Right.
Everybody makes this massive deal about it, like, oh my gosh, she's the best ever. But like,
Yeah, but-
it's not like
But that's like also a crazy thing.
But
To
also
try to
in
discredit just that.
I mean, she's like barely better.
Yeah, she barely has the best record on the planet ever of all time.
What I'm
that
saying is-
still
But
makes
also
her the
physically
best.
but you
gifted
don't.
wise.
You don't. What like? Put it this way, you don't. Like, I think Roger Federer has like double the next person,
Yeah,
but nobody's going. Roger Federer is the greatest
I think
athlete.
they
of
But
all
do
he-
say that.
They never say he's the
Oh,
greatest
athlete.
athlete of
Oh,
all
not
time.
athlete.
They
Oh,
never
no,
say he's the
no.
greatest athlete of all time.
Serena's the greatest athlete of all time.
But they
You
also
see
said
these,
Ronda
like-
Rousey could beat up Mayweather. Like people
bro,
get carried away
I
and speak in
Love
hyperbole.
watching her get knocked out because I said
That was
I could beat up Ronda
brutal.
Rousey.
Yeah, that was
actually
You think so?
light work. Light work. It's a girl, bro.
What do you outweigh her by?
Doesn't matter. I'll drop
What
to
if
her
she
weight.
No
didn't
way,
go?
she
What if
outweighs
Drop
you.
to her. No, she doesn't. I'm 185 pounds. She's like 5'3".
Yeah,
girls
she's
are
like
little.
she's like a
5'3"?
buck.
They're
40
girls,
maybe,
bro.
a
They're
buck
not that tall.
45.
It's like the center in the
Yeah,
WNBA
dude,
is 6'1".
some of those hooks she puts out, I don't think.
No,
that
her
you're-
striking
can't
is
punch.
terrible, but she could probably twist your arm off your body.
Okay, she could grab me and throw me on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I'll get up and I'll pick
Will
her up
you?
and throw her out the ring. Yeah, like it's not that hard, bro. Like, listen, I told
And now she's a wrestler though, so now she'll
Yeah, yeah.
hit you with the chair or
So,
something.
exactly. That's her best shot. If she goes to the side of the octagon, brings out like a lunch table,
Yeah.
and does some Buffalo Bills warm up
Yeah.
move on me. Basically, what I'm saying is I called Holly Holm knocking her out way before it happened. Knew it.
Were you familiar with Holly Holm?
Yeah, she's an elite boxer.
Yeah, Olympian.
That's
right?
all that matters. She's an elite athlete. The problem with MMA in general, and now it's starting to transition, but you didn't have elite athletes yet,
Yeah.
right? You just had guys that worked at Home Depot that like fighting, and then they're like, oh, I could
Chuck
choke
Liddell
him,
is
too.
the classic off the back of a pickup truck fighter.
Like fought in Home Depot.
yeah,
you know,
just
they-
literally
dude.
crushes 10 beers and he's like, I'll fight anybody.
and he will.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the
original
bar,
Fight
Beast. What a
dude,
beast.
Bar knockout champion,
Yep.
Chuck Liddell. Nobody's denying it. Absolutely.
How many pool cues have been knocked over his head? Like
Oh,
just broken.
tons.
Didn't that suck when you're that size? Because now everybody wants to fight you all the time, and also it's like the second you fucking like
Wait,
if
do you
they're
think people want to fight Chuck Liddell?
I think people want to fight any fighter always. They get, especially in the drunk in a bar setting, you get that one guy with the ego, like, I could fucking take you, and then a couple beers later, "Oh, you're not so fucking big, and then all of a sudden you get hit, and then if he fucking responds and blanks the guy, he's getting sued, and he's all over the news like punching pedestrians. You can't tell me that these fighters, even Conor McGregor, everybody knows Conor McGregor could murder anybody in less than 10 seconds if he wanted to, and yet I guarantee in Ireland there are people like, you think you're fucking shite, you know what I mean? I guarantee they would try and attack him.
You could be right.
That's why they have security all the time with them. Look at Mayweather.
In my experience, the security is to protect the other people, not them.
Mayweather's also a tiny little baby boy, so a big
No.
guy.
Mayweather, Mayweather's the greatest athlete in the history of sports. He's the greatest. He's the greatest great. He's the greatest at being great. He is greater at boxing than Steve Jobs is at creating, than Stephen Hawking is at science.
That might be true, but he's maybe the least exciting great of all time.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care about it.
I mean, well, it's an entertainment distraction, so it does matter.
For exactly like the way you probably feel about baseball, I feel about boxing. Like I appreciate.
But
him
also,
missing,
here's the other
cetera.
thing I think that wasn't discussed.
But just real
you
quick,
boxed, right?
Yeah, but just real quick with the we were just saying before with who was it that you were saying? Oh, with MMA. So like once they started interjecting actual elite athletes, it didn't even matter what they were elite at. Once they interjected them, they immediately start dominating. Daniel Cormier, right, who's the current I think heavyweight champion. He was I guess a light heavyweight champion.
I think they're doing John Jones, Cormier 3.
They might. That's their talk. But like even John Jones, both of his brothers are NFL athletes.
Yeah. He's like a real.
This is elite physical specimen, right?
Yeah.
So now, and then Daniel Cormier was a gold medalist wrestler.
Yeah.
Elite, right? Once you start getting the elites into the sport, now shit is going to change.
Well, Khabib was gold medal wrestling bears in Russia at 10 years old.
Is that a real thing? Zangief?
No, but have you seen those videos?
Zangief?
Oh
Yeah.
no, he wrestled a bear when he was like 5 or 6.
Who?
Khabib.
Wow.
Who
How
Connor's
old was the
fighting.
bear?
It was a young bear, but I mean the
Doesn't he
bear
know
was
it's
bigger
wrestling?
than him.
Yeah, but
He
it's
was
a
fucking-
baby bear. Like they don't know yet.
Yeah.
They don't know to be a bear yet.
He's a baby boy.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't just doing the Revenant.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like whatever. Like if he wrestled a grown ass bear, that'd
Yeah.
be
It's
like a
hilarious.
Bud
He's
Light
just
commercial.
hitting
Second
combos to
Revenant
effect.
reference.
Oh.
Exactly, dude. All I'm saying is once you're going to see these elite athletes, everything starts to change.
Yeah.
Right? And to be completely honest, the sport is better without them. When you introduce elite athletes to the sport, it gets boring. Male tennis is
Like a
kind of
boxing.
boring. Boxing is boring. You know what's fun? Logan Paul versus
Yeah.
KSI.
Yeah.
Right? You know what's
Oh,
fun?
that's why that Barstool's
Rough and rowdy.
Yeah.
What's fun about MMA is that it ended in a knockout every time, right?
Every
It ended-
time.
or a choke or something like that, right? And it was because the guys weren't good enough to be elite. They couldn't dominate the sport for more than there would be like one guy who'd get 20 straight wins. Everybody else has like 2 or 3 losses.
You know, the NBA is kind of turning into that a little bit too. Everybody is starting to develop the same game, the same
Everyone's a
type of,
three-point.
the same packages, the
How
same crossover
boring-
moves, the same finishes.
How boring was Golden State last year compared to the year before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
it's-
or was it 2 years ago? Like Golden State, where Steph is just hoisting.
Yeah.
Way more interesting and exciting and fun than when Kevin Durant is taking high percentage shots,
Right.
wide open.
Yeah.
It's just not-
Over an undersized defenseman
It's just not as
12
fun.
feet away, hitting
It's
98% of them. Yeah, it
right?
sucks.
I want to see Steph on a shit team. I want to see Steph on the fucking Bobcats.
I mean, he was for the first part of his career, and then he built them into the powerhouse. And
Fair
then
enough.
it was just cheat code. Kevin Durant coming over. It sucked, because
Hornets, I meant,
that
yeah.
team also, it would have been a much better rivalry, them versus Thunder, and then whoever came out of that against Cleveland with Kyrie. It'd
be great.
Let's just say Kyrie and LeBron somehow stayed together as well.
Sure.
Like that kind of real rivalry, that would have been some good fucking shit. And
Yeah.
then let's say even the Celtics have the team that they have exactly now without
Without Kyrie,
Kyrie
still
Irving.
good.
That would be a great Eastern Conference
Sure.
rivalry. Like it would have
But
been an interesting league.
It would have been interesting. It would have been fun. Don't get me wrong. We still have fun, but like, how exciting would it be to just watch Steph on a shit team? Give me any shit team.
Yeah.
What's a shit team?
The Hawks, I guess, but they're
Hawks,
even okay.
Hornets,
but
right? Like,
yeah, Hornets would be
listen,
interesting.
watching Kemba go off.
Kemba
is
is
fun.
nice. Yeah, he
So-
is fucking good.
And he's really good. But and now imagine just watching Steph. Let's say they win 40 games a year, but you get to watch Steph drop 40 a night.
Yep.
Just pull up
Do
threes
everything.
from
Green light every single time down the court.
On
Yep.
some level, who gives a fuck if they win or not?
Right.
Who gives
Yeah.
a fuck? It's just it was Vince Carter. Remember watching Vince just
Right.
dunk on people? It was
Yeah.
great for the sport. And it's like you get to see your team. We're watching Jason Williams. Remember watching? I would just watch Jason Williams do the behind the back passes,
the
pull up
best.
5 feet. It was just so much fun. I didn't give a fuck if they won or not.
He
Just do some
influenced my
exciting
play
shit.
way too much.
Wait, dude, a guy made passing cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So it's like,
Nobody since Pistol Pete made white guys want to pass.
For real?
Yeah, so much.
dude. So there's just something. I think there's some value in having like one elite guy in a sport with not that many elites, or having people who just aren't that good play it.
Yeah.
Street fights way more exciting. I stop at every street fight video when I'm scrolling through Instagram.
Do you know what that's not true with? And I guess this isn't really a sport, but it's on ESPN, but poker. Elite poker players against elite poker players, and even with like a sporadic few shitty ones.
Yeah.
That's better to watch than a home game.
Okay, here's my thing about poker.
Mm-hmm. I used to play for a living.
I remember you talking to me about this. Here's the thing about poker on TV and why it's so great. You only pick the good hands.
Yeah. They never show the boring muck of the 4 other hours that you're sitting there.
They're there for 2 days. It's cricket.
Besides the live,
it's cricket.
but the final table,
Cricket.
the final table is live, which actually kind of made for somebody who's like weird and super into it and nerdy about poker a little bit. I love watching those garbage hands and how you see people like kind of strategize to steal blinds, to steal a little bit of money, like just kind of be little rats, kind of surviving.
That's how I
at
feel
the
about
table.
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
I love
bet.
watching him make you lose confidence.
Yep.
Like, that's so much fun for me. When he counters your jab, and then you start to realize that you can't throw a jab without getting hit in the face. Right. And then just watching in the second round how a fighter's he's dedicated his entire life to this one thing that he thought that he was elite at. And then in 3 minutes, he's taken every bit of confidence that you had in yourself away from you. Like,
but that's the same. That's me.
That's why you love baseball.
That's me watching a pitcher embarrass fucking David Ortiz, who just fucking can hit bombs regularly, and then looks like you or I up there swinging a fucking wet noodle.
Yeah, and he's just frustrated. He's pissed off. There's nothing.
And then the other guy just has that fucking swagger. They just throw it and turn your fucking back to you. Just fucking. That's
dropping the mic.
It's the only sport that they just fucking do their thing and go fuck you and just walk.
Steph Curry does that. He shoots threes.
Those shoulder shimmies.
But guys, I think we just found common ground.
No, I don't deny why anybody who has like played the sport. You obviously played it.
That's the thing I was gonna say earlier.
You
If
know
you
the game.
said
You know the game.
you like basketball, you like boxing, you did both of those. I think once you play any sport at a competitive level, you develop an affinity for liking it
The
more
nuance
than you ever would. Yeah, because you also go, oh fuck, I could never I could never even hit 80 miles an hour in terms of throwing. I can't see people throwing 100 regularly. It's like that's nuts to me.
It's why we love watching a comic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Watching a boring baseball game is exciting for you because you know what's happening in these people's heads.
You know what's going right and what's going wrong.
And you know what that pitcher is thinking. You know what those batters are thinking, right?
But it's also great to watch excellent comic because you can see how they're fucking manipulating.
But a boring baseball game might be a low-scoring game to some people, but that might be an
It's a
exciting
nail biter.
one
It's
to
a
you.
fucking nail
It's a
biter.
nail biter to you, right? But to the average person who watches soccer, they're like, oh, they're scoring, that sucks. But someone who really knows the game, knows the nuance. Just like when we're watching a comic bomb, it's like...
It's edging, dude. It's fucking edging.
Fucking edging,
it's
dude.
edging.
It is. It's like you're not going to nut yet, but you're going
And
to
you don't
fucking
know
get
how
it
many
close.
hours it's going to happen for. You know what I mean?
Dude,
That's the thing
I
about baseball. It could go
fucking
5 hours of just
love
edging.
I love it, bro. I love it just fucking watching it, dude, and watching when the bit is over. You know, like
Just the silence.
yeah, just like that. My favorite part is the transition. Right, is like they finish the bit. Let's say the last line is supposed to be the laugh line. Is listen, and that's why you got lobster.
Right.
Right now, this crowd of people has showed zero interest in you. They have no interest whatsoever in what you're talking about. The next sentence for a comic who's bombing always starts with I. Right, so it's go lobster. And he goes. So I was.
Yeah.
They just told you they don't care about you.
My favorite is the I like you guys.
Yeah.
It never comes after a good joke. It always means like that's like the Catholic I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
It's like I fuck you and everybody you hold dear.
You guys are cool, man.
Yeah. My favorite is when I grew up doing like I was doing the black rooms a lot in the city, right?
Yeah.
And when a guy would be bombing, this was the go-to line. Give it up for God, y'all. Give it up for God, man. One more time for God, bro.
That's great.
You could guilt a little clap.
Right.
You try to hopefully.
Well, that's to say you could also do that. I mean, you just go like, "How about a hand for your wait staff, huh? Taking care of you tonight." You know what I mean? Like you just start working. The waitress is like, "Don't work us into it." You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. You know,
dude. Careful. Yeah,
dude.
Dude, watching a comic bomb, man. I don't know what it is. It's almost like.
Does it give you anxiety too, though? Because at some level, sometimes it gives me anxiety because you can, you've bombed before, so you know what that feels like. So even though you're like, I'm so happy that it's not me up there, you still have that thing of being like, but if I was and it was happening that way, you might be like, this is how I get out of it. But until then, you know you're powerless and just watch this person be like, it's kind of hot in here. Anyone else's lips chapped all of a sudden? Like, Burt's Bees? Anyone?
It gives me a little bit when I don't know the person. Because I don't know how they're coping with it.
Right.
But if it's a friend of mine,
oh yeah,
like watching like one of you guys or like Akaash or something, like watching them bomb.
That's funny actually.
Oh,
that to me, yeah, that's real funny.
Nothing's better,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, just watching them, like hearing their mouth when they're like it gets dry and they're like
Yeah.
and they go like yeah that sound on the mic, dude. Or the best, it's like there's no silence. There's total silence. There's nothing happening in the room, and then you hear someone like take the last sip of their drink with a straw.
Yeah.
The sound. We should do a white noise. Just bombing, and the audience just, or like you could hear a check being printed.
Yeah, or the sound of backing a metal chair back as someone's going to the bathroom.
The sounds of bombing.
Yeah.
We need to do a track. It's just all the little shit going.
All the little bombs.
Start like whispering and shit like that.
Well, like,
You're clearing your throat for the person on stage. What was your last bomb?
my last bomb. I think
Bad.
Well, here's the thing. It was one of those things where it was a bad. I didn't have a good. I was in Philly doing a show, but I was headlining, and here's one of those things.
Philly Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Tough
but
room?
It was just set up. It was a weird night. It was set up in a way that wasn't ideal. It wasn't going to be good. But so like the host went up, and here's the thing. It was like they weren't an aggressive audience. They were like smiling, but they looked as though they didn't pay to be there, as if they didn't know they were going to be there, as if it was like
hostage.
You know what it looked like? It was like a hostage, like an ambush show,
Yeah.
as if they were all at the bar and all in this lounge hanging out, and then someone just said, "All right, everybody, we're going to do a comedy show right now." But it wasn't that. They paid money and came there specifically for that, and so they were like smiling, but also being like, there was a dude that I was talking to regularly for the set because he was just kind of like he would be looking at me, and he's sitting at the bar, and then he would just like look straight ahead at nothing. And I'm over here. He's just looking straight ahead, just being like with his hands on the bar, like, Jesus Christ. And then every once in a while, I'd like catch him with something where he'd be like, all right, you got me back. Give me over. And then but it was fuck it. And then they were like, do you mind? Right before I went up, like, it's because the first two comics had like a pretty rough, it was stone silence. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'll fucking play around with them. I'll get them. And so I got them a couple times, but otherwise, dude, it was just like, they go, do you mind just doing 40 instead of 45? And I was like,
yes.
Please, for the love of God. And then they lit me at I think I did them like 35 just under 40, and I was like, dude, I was out of Philadelphia within the hour. I got off stage at 10:30. By 11, I was in New York. I was fucking gone, man. And it wasn't even
doing less time for the shitty crowd is the greatest hustle.
What
in
a
comedy.
Dude, I was just
gift,
audibling left and right out of bits, being like, and then starting ones and being like, you don't deserve this act out. I'm not gonna sweat, you know what I mean? Or just
dude, nothing's funnier than the big act out
for nothing
during the bomb.
For nothing.
Oh yeah, to commit yourself
someone goes
100%
full-
to failure.
Yo,
that is.
I saw
gnarly.
a dude at a show at a very bad comedy club.
Who hosts the Philly one? Is it Russ?
It was Russ, yeah.
Bro, shout out to Russ.
I have a feeling this is not going to be friendly.
Yeah.
Russ, I love that kid. Once Russ was hosting, and I think it was when Comedy Juice was at like a place called Levity Live up in New York, and Russ was hosting for me, and Russ goes all in on his act.
Oh,
man.
he sure does.
He is going.
He
for
fell
it.
off the stage in Atlantic City.
I was there.
I think I got one better for you.
Oh, believe me when I tell you, you don't. I watched a man fall 4 feet onto the audience, and then when he fell, the first words out of his mouth were just, "Give it up for the stage, everybody."
Okay, ready? I don't know if I have a beat. So, I saw Russ lose a tooth. This motherfucker is going hard, full act out. All of a sudden, his tooth flies out of his fucking mouth and hits a table in the front row. The whole, it's not like it did it a little bit and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Tooth clear out his fucking face. Hits the table, ting, ting, and people are like, is this tooth just come out of his face? In Levity, there wasn't any people. You know what I mean? There was like maybe they'd get
the airport hangar if there's
Dude, massive. Yeah. It's massive. And dude, the tooth, we found the tooth, bro. Found the tooth. It was his front one. It wasn't like a back one. It was
Did
one
he
of the
knock it
front.
with the microphone?
Must have hit it with the microphone. Thing
I mean,
fell
he has
out.
bad breath, so his tooth must
pushed
have.
They pushed it out.
His breath smells like a non-self-cleaning vagina.
It was. Dude, what was crazy was when he fell off. It did not have a diva cup attached or a douche.
Yeah, his blood
When he
bucket
fell in
burst.
Atlantic
Shouts
City-
to you, Russ. I love you, Russ.
I was
That
gonna say,
shit
here's
was
what I
so
love
funny.
about Russ is once he fell off, that was the first 2 minutes of the show. Okay, so then he had to go up and host for the next 13 minutes.
Hold on, how did he fall off?
He was doing a wild act out, and he like did like a spin move, and he had his back to the audience, and he took a step with his back foot to plant, and he touched on the end of the stage, and then a part of the stage actually fractured off, and then crumbled below him, and then he fell. He fell onto people. Dude, he was bleeding.
Stage.
He was bleeding like profusely.
He landed on people. That's the best. And then he got back on stage, right, and then yelled.
He had a little breakdown, but he was it wasn't good. But he had but the man still fucking went up and hosted the rest of the show, literally visibly bleeding, just being like, so my wife, like it's like the man's a fucking hero. You know what I mean? He's a soldier. He's a fucking comedy soldier, man.
shout
He
to
just
Russ,
fucking
man.
took the bullet and
I
just
love you,
kept
Russ.
going.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Bro, that was
that is
incredible,
commitment.
man.
Good guy.
Fell off the fucking stage.
And there's just no way to come back from that in terms of the show.
I think what he said was pretty good.
Give it up for
Give it
the
up for
stage.
stage.
That was
Great.
good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a way to wrap yourself around a bomb. Guys, is there anything else in sports that we want to touch on before we wrap this podcast up?
Is there a sport we didn't touch on?
The only thing I have here, obviously, is Le'Veon coming back.
Oh, yeah, week 7 while they have a bye, right?
Well, so what week are we in right now?
4.
4.
4. Why did he pick 7?
Because they have a bye. So I think he's trying to give them time to trade him. I don't know.
And I think week 8's when you have the trade deadline, right? Isn't it week 8? But you have to. Well, there was that's the thing too. Do you see what Le'Veon said? He commented because they what's his name just
Earl
got
Thomas.
just got the season ending.
Can we understand? Okay, go.
Instead of so he wanted to get paid. Then he fucking came back because his teammates were giving him shit. He immediately has a season-ending injury.
Fractured
it
his
is
leg.
week 8 that you get the thing.
Yeah.
But so then he commented on the Instagram or whatever, just being like, fucking shaking my head, man. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, he's like, this is why
I'll
doing
be
it
the
for you
bad
guys.
guy for everyone or something like that.
But here's my thing with what's it called, Earl Thomas. Is so he apparently put the middle finger up towards
his teammates.
his team's bench, right? But it's like when I agree to do a shitty gig, I'm not upset at the gig. I'm upset at me for agreeing to do the shitty gig.
But wouldn't you also kind of take that out on anyone near you? If also you have to add excruciating pain to the bad show.
We go through excruciating emotional pain.
Yeah, but I
they
mean,
don't have to deal with that.
If you were
They
to be
don't know what
physically,
this is like.
if you were to be physically,
I think he
carried-
probably was mad at himself for letting them influence him.
Exactly.
And then he,
And he
gave
took it out
yeah.
on them. But
so
it's
he
like,
middle finger. It was really
Yeah.
he should have pointed towards himself. I
Yeah.
guess that's
Yeah.
my feeling. Is that Earl Thomas, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. If you don't want to play, don't play. The reality of the matter, in the same situation with Le'Veon Bell, is running backs are a dime a dozen, bro.
but Le'Veon Bell is
he?
I mean, maybe he's on the
Is
back
he?
9, but I mean, he was he's elite.
Is he, or do they have an elite offensive line?
Of course, if you don't
That's
have a
what
good
I'm thinking,
offensive line, then it doesn't matter. But
Exactly,
I mean, Saquon Barkley looks fucking great, and they have no offensive line,
All right,
and he's
fair.
embarrassing people.
Sure,
out
but how are
there.
the Giants doing?
Really good.
Right? So it's I guess my feeling is you have the choice to play in this league. These are the rules of the league, and if you don't want to play, sit down. But you're going to find out that at a certain position, and especially running back, and it could be the case that it's with safety too, there's just not a lot of demand out there for you.
But how does the NFL how do they justify the structure of their contracts?
Because no one player is that valuable.
It's crazy.
Everybody can look at the Patriots. If you have a great system, you can put 5-6 Jewish guys into it, and they can flourish. They can flourish.
Yeah.
Right. Like you don't need 6'5", whatever Julio Jones is, 200 something pounds. Right. You don't need that. You can if you have a great system, people who can operate within the system can succeed in the league.
Just do your job.
So that's really what happens and you have to understand when they're looking at these other sports and they're going, look what they make in basketball, because one guy can change everything. LeBron can change everything in basketball. One guy cannot change everything in football. Maybe you have an Aaron Rodgers who won't get you. I mean, obviously he's won a Super Bowl, but he can't take a shit team all the way.
Right.
He can get you in playoff contention, but he can't take you all the way. LeBron can take any team in the East to the finals every fucking year.
That's a reason why it annoys me about basketball, is because the beginning of the year you go, cool, so the finals are going to be this team,
That's
and
fair.
then it's going to be 2 out of maybe 3 possible teams, and you go, well, this fucking, you know what I mean? It's like today.
It's like wrestling. You know Undertaker's going to be at WrestleMania.
Exactly, but
But
today.
we still watch
Yeah, but I
it.
still like watching.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right? And you like watching both of them,
Yeah.
right? It's still, but I understand that argument. I'd never disagree with anybody about
Yeah,
that
me
argument
neither.
about how it might be predictable. But just like wrestling, like we get into the storyline, like, oh, is John Cena going to lose?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I think that we allow, like a Knicks fan, we allow ourselves to think we're going to be good.
I
We're going to be
know,
dog
it's so
shit.
It's just
We're not.
never. It's
It's
just
not-
never going to be.
So the thing when it comes to football is these guys have to realize you are not playing a sport like basketball. You're playing a sport like war. You know what I mean? And you're not the general. You're one of the cadets. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're on that front line, and like those cadets you can replace with other cadets. You might not be able to replace a General Petraeus. That might be like a genius mind that's very hard to come by. You know, you can't replace maybe a Belichick. Belichick's
also
going to
hard-
have more value.
Yeah, it's also hard for other sports that aren't basketball to go through like the culture in terms of making impact on daily people's lives with fashion, because like baseball players, like Mike Trout has his own round of cleats. Who the fuck cares besides
cleats,
other
yeah,
basketball?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like football players, you know what I'm saying? They're on the sneaker. It's like basketball players have sneakers, which is what
Football
we
players are
wearable
turning
clothes.
sneakers into cleats. That kid on the Saints yesterday was wearing the 11s, the
That's
patent
right. I've
leather
seen,
11s.
yeah.
But you know
Jordan
what I'm
do
saying?
that.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
basketball has that going for them, where that's a thing that they can use to market themselves.
It's an
and-
accessible sport.
Yeah.
It's accessible clothing-wise.
And there's
We
only
wanna
5 people. It's easy to
Yeah.
fucking see. It's
Baseball's got it with the hat, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And I can't believe, well, I guess because you don't wear a basketball hat, right? Like
Not
the
really.
baseball hat is part of
The hats,
the
yeah.
attire, you know?
There were headbands in the culture though for a while.
But you
even
can't-
even the double headband. Who was that? Quentin Richardson and
yeah.
and, Demarius Miles or what's his
Darius
name?
Miles.
Darius Miles.
So that's a little thing that like NBA guys do to like fight against authority. You know, at the end of the day, most of the people in the league are kids, right? And kids, when we're all kids, we hate authority.
Yeah.
But
Right?
now they don't. Now the kids coming in are businessmen. They
They
know
are
how to-
businessmen, but they'll do little things, right? Like so, the subtle fuck you to the league was, hey, you're allowed to wear a headband. Fine, we'll let you wear the headband. But then they'd flip the logo upside down. So if
Right.
you ever watched the NBA look, and this was their like, there you go, Dad.
Right.
Take that, Dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you want me to wear a headband? Well, I'm gonna wear like this, Dad. Right? Because at the end of they're 19, they're 20
Yeah,
years
yeah.
old, right? They're kids. Like I have some buddies that work the league, and they said they'll do like little shit. Like these are millionaires when they're at the All-Star game. These are the All-Stars. They'll just take all the All-Star socks. Like they have socks in the locker room,
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
case you want to wear some All-Star stuff, and they'll just steal them. There'll be like 100 pairs, not steal them,
Yeah.
but they'll be like, I'm gonna leave. You can buy Givenchy socks for millions of dollars if you want.
I
but
didn't
they're
even
just
know what
there.
that was. That's so
Me neither. I
expensive.
made it up.
Sounds. I was ready to pay top dollar for that sock.
But there is that little fucking thing in us when we're kids,
Yeah.
which is how do I, rebel against authority? And when we become adults, there's this thing which is like, how do we make more authority? Like there needs to be more rules. This is too like showing like even coming to the airport. There weren't enough lines for the TSA,
Right.
and I was just looking around like, guys, like, let's get some order here. Like,
Yeah,
we just go wherever we want. Like, what
Yeah.
is this fucking? This is a disaster.
Lead me. I need authority.
Come on, somebody,
Yeah.
please. Let's make it Let's make it comfortable.
Yeah, you put all the lines out, and I'll say, "Fuck you." All these lines are bullshit. But now I'm happy the lines are there.
I'm so happy. Is this a Seinfeld episode?
It is.
What's the deal with these? I don't know what got us into that.
Who cares?
I think there was a point that I was trying to make, just about the league in general. But it doesn't matter. I guess what these football players are just going to have to realize, and someone's going to have to tell them, is that your single job on that team is, because of the way the sport is set up, it's just not so valuable.
Yeah.
And you just don't have the leverage that
Unless you're a
some of these
quarterback.
other guys do.
Or Odell.
Unless you're a quarterback or Odell, and even if you're a quarterback, like, how did the fucking Patriots do when Tommy was sitting down?
Yeah, pretty good.
But it doesn't matter because but I'm saying those people get the opportunity to market themselves. They may not be, they are the most valuable people on the field for sure, but also, I just see what you're saying. Other teams can navigate without having it. But if you have a good quarterback, that people will come to the stadium. You can sell shit.
That's a good
Peyton
point.
Manning, no matter where he went.
Great point, which is, not only you're going to win some games, you also have a
Attendance.
lucrative yes, it's a business thing. That's
No one
fair.
wants to see Mark Sanchez throwing a ball. Even if he's throwing the ball to Odell Beckham, we're like, what is this guy? Then you just get mad. You're like, why is Mark Sanchez allowed to be on the field?
Do you
He's
know Mark
Spanish.
Yeah.
You know he cracked. What is that girl with the huge tits that dates Justin Verlander? Oh, there's
Kate
a
Upton.
there's a pitcher.
It's like, dude, you're in double digits.
got him, dude. That's
Easy.
so nice.
I've seen
Yeah.
his dick.
That's the only reason I know him.
Yeah.
I've seen his cock. I got a bigger dick than him.
Yeah.
I remember all
I
the
felt good
littler
about
dicks.
my dick after seeing
Yeah.
that too. I was like, wow, his is like
Dude,
real
I block
pink.
out any famous dick that's big. Like a Ray J, I don't even know what that looks like anymore.
Chris Brown's was the most troubling.
Did you see
It was
Chris's?
a wild dick.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the internet.
What was so
for
wild?
Sure. It's just it's a mule
Big-
dick.
big
It's
dick.
a big dick. Yeah.
It's a
You could
mule-
just tell he puts a hurting on women.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, in
And
a
then he
good
has
way.
sex with them.
Yeah, the big ones you just kind of block out. But Brett Favre's, I know exactly what
Oh
his
yeah,
looks
his
like, bro.
stupid little thumb dick.
Stupid little
oh, it's
dick.
great.
Who's Dick?
Brett Favre.
quarterback for the
Oh,
Packers.
yeah.
Remember him? And he played for
yeah,
the
of course.
Jen
I know
Selter.
Favre. I just didn't-
Or not Jen Selter. Jen.
No. Selter's the
The
Is
ass
she see
model.
Instagram?
Yeah.
But Jen, what's her name? She does. I think she does comedy in L.A. now. Yeah, I think she
She was a
does.
sideline reporter.
Yeah, she was for a little, or she was working for the Jets. She was a part of their media team.
Yeah.
And she was super hot. She went to USC also, I believe. But she now does comedy, I think, in LA. I think she's friends with like Kate Quigley. That you know that comic?
No.
She's another hot girl, funny comic. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, as
Yeah.
far as I know, it's wild, right? The guy, the girl Brett Favre sent his dick to
Is
is
now-
doing stand up.
Yeah.
What are the odds that that's in the act?
Oh, it has to be.
100,000,000%.
Has to be.
Opener, closer, the middle.
See, she used it. Like those girls that Louis did it to just did nothing with that material. write a song.
Yeah,
girls.
wow, she built a career.
Yeah,
It's like,
come
show
on.
me a dick, I'll
We
give
call
you 5.
this material,
Yeah.
okay? Remember when the bad shit in your life was material?
Yeah,
That's
wow.
what comedians used to use, right?
Uh-huh.
Now you're a victim. Imagine that. Imagine Pryor never talked about all the fucked up shit that he went through comedically. Imagine he just was like, look how horrible the life I've lived.
Right.
And,
Earnestly was trying to absolve his sins.
Yeah.
Like, no,
brutal.
listen, like I've
Guys,
been
I have
through trauma.
I have an addiction.
Yeah.
I'd like to. I'm a slave to it, and
Yeah.
I really don't know what to do.
Yeah. Imagine, dude.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, it's just like
No,
what?
but wouldn't even
I mean,
try
that kind of
stand-up.
was his first special at the Improv.
That?
The Up in Smoke or whatever, where he's sitting down. He's just bombing the entire time, and it's him sitting down, smoking cigarettes. And it's like some funny stuff, but he's like mostly talking about sucking dick, I think, and like in a pretty graphic, honest way.
Dude, you know how funny you got to be a black dude and talk about sucking dick.
And have black people cheer,
And
or black
still
guys
be the
cheer.
biggest black
Yeah.
comic in the world. Dude.
Yep.
That's a barrier it's tough to cross over, dude.
Mhm.
Like the being, especially at that time. Now everybody's a little bit more accepting, but like at that time, like the
Yeah.
homophobia amongst all communities. Like there's one dude.
Eddie Murphy just had faggot on his first hour, and then faggot revisited on the second
On
one.
his set, yeah, but
Yeah.
oh, that's right. It was just
Yeah.
normal.
Just
like
revisited.
anybody
Yeah,
could say.
just this is what it is.
Yeah. It was not even.
Disparaging, and he's sitting
Yeah,
up there.
hard-
he's up there
hard
prancing around in a
enunciation.
fucking leather suit as if he's not the biggest queer out of all of them. That's the best part.
Well,
Maybe
that's why he
felt
says it.
comfortable.
That's why he said. But also, I think that's why you say it so with such venom because it fucking, you know what I mean? It's something you can't come to terms with.
Yes, it is. That was his defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And that's why he has 10 kids.
Yeah. He just keeps dropping batches in chicks just to
And he
prove
also-
his
I'm
not gay.
masculinity. Yeah, right?
I've got
Here's
10.
a receipt.
Yeah.
But Eddie, also, here's a receipt. Party all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
This
thought you were
says
talking
you're
about
gay.
the receipt
I
from
was,
the training.
I was, me too. That's what I was like, yeah.
A lot of receipts.
Yeah.
A lot of receipts. Oh, man. Have we trashed everybody? Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us, dude.
You guys have a great podcast people should check out called the Irish Goodbye Podcast.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Which you do not talk about sports.
No, it's storytelling. It's
Storytelling.
mostly, I mean, we're two pretty big drinkers and both like our fair share of marijuana and mushrooms, and it's a lot of stories about the road and those things.
Well, that's good. I want you guys to go check it out. So check that shit out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. Put your socials on there so people can tell you.
At I am Mike Feeny on everything, and then MikeFeeneyComedy.com for dates and a bunch of dumb, stupid videos that I do. So check those out.
Don't disparage yourself.
Well, I mean, they're funny. They're definitely funny, but
Wait,
they're,
what did you
they're
say?
dumb. I said I put up dumb, stupid videos, but they're funny. But they're just dumb, stupid.
I
videos.
like his videos. I think
Yeah,
he
I
has
know,
a
I
good
do
Instagram.
too. I said don't disparage.
Yeah,
himself.
he has a good
Yeah,
Instagram.
follow my Instagram. I could
Yeah,
use
yeah.
more love on that. That's
Yeah,
really,
Sure.
it's really a source of self-consciousness. At I am Mike Feeny.
At I am Mike Cannon. Unfortunately, we just have everything similar. And
except
Mike,
hair.
yeah, Mike Cannon comedy.
That far apart.
I mean, don't you dare.
Thank
It
you, I
is-
appreciate
He's
it.
got
You
good
just said-
hairlines,
yeah,
both of you.
Well,
He's just gray.
No,
but
we both have hairlines. I will say we're that's similar.
you could grow that. It's not
of
like you
course I
couldn't
could.
grow that.
Of course I could. In a heartbeat.
Don't.
This kid takes
You
way
could
too much
grow
pride over a very reasonable hairstyle. Like
you
anybody could
easily
do that.
dye your hair
Anybody
and have
could.
that.
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah,
could.
he could easily. Yeah, you could easily get fake tits and have D tits, but you're not going to be fucking born with
That's
it.
a lot harder. You could just for
way
men that
harder.
shit. You could just for men that and then
wash.
have your whole
I could
thing.
do a wash.
You could do one wash. and then have your hair.
MikeCannonComedy.com for
Cannon's
dates.
hair might be thicker.
I
It's
think
not.
It's
It's-
definitely-
let me
it's
tell you. Let
definitely
me tell you how
I
thick
think
my
it's
hair
thicker.
is. They have to use thinning scissors because
So
it
does
gets
it-
so
yeah,
thick.
mine too.
I have too
Yeah,
much.
I think Cannon's as well, dude.
You're-
Cannon's
you're-
hair looks like
This is the point where this has made me more angry than anything you said about baseball this whole time. In the 6
No.
hours I've been here.
no.
It's the only thing he has.
Listen,
It's what I do. It's what I do well.
That's all he's got.
Yeah.
but no, you really don't think that you could have the exact same hair? I think that
Him?
you could,
No.
yeah.
His hair grows very different. He doesn't have bad hair. It's just gray hair, but it's coarse. You know what
It's
I mean?
got the
But
gray.
it's better
Coarse.
to be
But
gray.
it's thick, dude. His hair is made out of.
It's Brillo
Chris
pad.
Brown.
It looks like a
First of all,
Brillo
it's
pad.
not even remotely close to Brillo pad. Currently, it's short and in a very, kind of non-malleable length.
Yeah.
But once it gets even beyond this, it's fine. It's better than yours.
I mean, I just know
Wow.
that it's so incredibly not that it doesn't even.
I mean, why are you talking so fast then?
Yeah, I love the beef. I should have started this earlier. All right, go. Did you say I am Mike Cannon on
and
everything?
MikeCannonComedy.com for dates. The big one, I'm going to the Comedy Cellar Vegas the 24th through the 28th with
shit.
Colin Quinn, Chris DiStefano, Mike Vecchione, Taylor Tomlinson, and I guess you can get $25 tickets. CC Social.
That's a
told me
great
that.
weekend.
Yeah.
I got a fucking shit weekend.
Really?
When does this come out?
I just don't know any of the comics.
When does this come out?
What
When
is
does this come out?
it? Tomorrow.
Oh, then also October 17th, come to Caroline's. I'm headlining.
Hey,
Hey,
got
hey.
him. Okay, man. Well, thank y'all so much for listening. Peace.